Hey everybody, High Spots TV brings to you Shoot Conversations with Chris Hero. I am Chris Hero, and I am proud to say to you, let me see if I got this right, fighting out of National Park, New Jersey.
That's right.
You still 207? 207?
I'm 217 now.
All right, at an
Yeah.
official weight of 217 pounds,
Yep.
representing that murder, death, kill gang.
Worldwide.
Hate Club, Eastern Bloc,
Yep.
gang affiliated.
Gang affiliate.
Yeah, rest in peace, Big Nate Hatred.
Yep.
Rest in peace, your brother, Justice Payne. And you know what it is.
It's MDK.
All fucking day.
That's right.
Nick Gage.
Chris, first off, it's an honor to be with you, man, to do this with you. I consider you one of the best wrestlers in our era.
Thank you, man.
So I just wanted to say that to you. And I just want to give a shout out to all the MDK gang members out there who support me. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing right now, sitting with Chris Hero, and I wouldn't be able to do my passion, which is pro wrestling and deathmatch wrestling. So I just want to say thank you to all the MDK gang members.
Man, and I love doing these interviews. I wrestle, but first and foremost, I'm a fan. I love it.
Of course,
I've loved
me
it
too.
my whole life, and I just like to dig a little bit deeper. I've got a different perspective, so I can ask you some different questions, maybe show people a little bit of a different side, some stuff that, you can listen to 10 Nick Gage interviews. I want mine to be different.
All right.
So
Well, I'm a real one, Chris, so you can ask me anything you want, and I will answer it truthfully. I promise
is
you
it
that.
true that the K in MDK stands for Krzyzewski?
No, but I am a Duke fan, and Coach
got
K
some,
has retired. I know. I see you with the jacket. And shout out to Coach K.
Coach K?
So
John Shire is their head coach this
Yes,
season, his first
yes.
year. I'm excited.
yeah, I am
It's a
too.
new era. Holy shit!
Yeah.
Our whole lives, Coach K's been there.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What turned you on to Duke basketball?
What turned me on to Duke basketball? God, man, I just grew up a Duke fan.
Yeah.
I would always watch college basketball. I'm a big basketball fan.
Yeah,
It's my second favorite sport to football, and I just grew up on that, and and I grew up on Duke. Man.
Yeah.
You
So,
know, I was from the Leitner days and stuff like
yeah.
that.
So that's what roped me in, man. I'm just about a year older than you. I was born December '79. You were born the following year.
80.
So I just a kid in the middle of Ohio, Dayton, Ohio. I just saw Duke, man. I saw Leitner, Hurley, Grant Hill, and just they were so good.
So
man.
good.
Coach K,
Especially Grant Hill.
Yes. So I just developed an affinity for them, and
I did too.
And just-
I one time I went to a carnival, and you know how you got to shoot the basketball. Well, they had a little Duke basketball, and I was a young kid, man, and I spent $50 trying to shoot the basketball in the fucking net.
Yeah.
And I didn't know it was rigged. I wasn't smart
rigged,
enough
bro.
at the time, so I could have just went out and bought the little basketball, but I'm over here blowing my mom's money that she gave me on a Duke basketball because I wanted it bad.
Bro,
And
we'll get
I
you-
left with the Duke basketball, hit the shot. So
there you go.
Yeah.
So is the game rigged, or it just had to teach you
I,
to level
I
up?
believe the game's rigged, and I got lucky.
Yeah,
I think so.
I like it. So you grew up in Jersey,
Yeah,
and you had your older brother,
yeah,
Chris, and your mom.
Yeah, yeah.
What was it
Patty
like?
Dukes.
What was it like for you just growing up as a little dude?
Oh
in
man, it
Jersey?
was great, man. My household was awesome. My mom's, she is just a beautiful lady, and she let you know how it is, man. I got a older brother, and we always fight. We always wrestle. We're always playing football. We're sports people. My mom was cool. She let it go on, until you broke something like a window or something like that.
Yeah.
But I just love my childhood, man.
Yeah.
My mom raised me right, and thank God she did, because I wouldn't be the man I am today. So I miss my mom every day, man.
Yeah.
She was my best friend, And my brother, I miss him
Yeah.
too, man.
Your brother was 2, 3 years older?
Yeah, about three.
About three.
About
Okay.
three. He was October,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm September. So
September. Okay.
soon as I turn, about
Yeah.
2 years and what,
Yeah.
11
Two and
months,
change.
something
Yep.
like
Yep.
that.
I got you.
So,
So what all did you get up to? You said you like football, you like basketball. You playing
yeah,
sports when you were younger?
yeah, absolutely. I played baseball my whole life.
Yeah.
But I lived in a small neighborhood. It was called National Park, which is a mile long. So we would all play. We would all pick up basketball, pick up football. We would go to other towns and bring our crew, which was my best friends, and we would play football every weekend on Sundays. But baseball was my recreational sport.
Yeah.
And I was a catcher my whole life,
Yeah.
and I loved baseball. I played until I was about I think 19, right
19.
when I started going to Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now were you like Bash Bros? Were you Ken Griffey Jr.? Were you Frank Thomas? Who'd you like?
Yeah. Who did I like?
Yeah, who'd you
I
like?
was a big Darryl Strawberry fan.
Ooh.
Until I seen him at an airport. And I seen him at an airport, man. And, well, actually, before I seen him at the airport, excuse me, I was down. I had my Mets jersey on. I had the Strawberry jersey on when they were there.
Damn.
And I went him to sign my autograph, and he just skipped right over me, man. And then I seen him at the airport when I was older
Yeah.
in Fort Myers, and I gave him a couple words of a piece of my mind.
Damn.
Yeah, man. I was like 12 years old, man. You skipped over me, man. You were my favorite player.
Yeah.
So you're not my favorite player ever again.
Dude,
Yeah.
it's so funny that something he's probably done tens of thousands of times, not even paying attention, right? Because he's professional.
Well,
he's doing
he's
his thing,
right.
but you don't realize how much of an effect
Well,
that could
let's
have on
just
somebody.
look at these water bottles right here.
Yeah.
So this is Darryl Strawberry. This is somebody, and then this is me. So he's signing this one, sees me, skips over me, and then signs the other person's stuff.
Damn.
And I had all the Mets gear at the Phillies.
Damn.
I could have got jumped, man. You know how Philly is. You try to wear somebody else's team. I'm a big Ichiro fan.
Mm-hmm.
I just love a guy, and big Tony Gwynn fan.
Yeah.
I just love guys who
Damn.
can hit the ball sweet like that. You know what I mean? Both of them guys could hit line drives, and they were great. And then, of course, you had the steroid with the home runs.
Oof, yeah.
Barry Bonds, man.
Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa.
Barry Bonds still not guilty. Never failed a test, but
He's still getting paid. He's
was
got
hit-
that contract,
he
that
was hit-
20-year contract.
I know he does. He was hitting bombs in the McCovey Cove, man. And I remember that World Series when they faced the Angels.
Yeah.
And he had 6 home runs, 5 home runs in that era, I think. I like Barry Bonds too, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
back to the autographs, man.
Yeah.
Tommy Dreamer told me one time he was a kid going to the Garden. He saw Bob Backlund. Was like, hey, can I get an autograph? And he goes, yeah. I gotta go right now, but I'll come back out. Bob Backlund did not come back out.
Damn it, Bob.
And so Dreamer's like, man. To this day, he's like, damn it.
Still
Damn
hurt by it, huh?
Yeah. So for instance, like with NXT, right? We got a tour bus. But the tour bus has got to go. So what I try to do is if there's 10 people and maybe I can get 1 or 2, I will still be like, hey, I appreciate you.
Yeah.
I'll see you down the road. Thank you. Because honestly, this is this, but this is your time. I'm taking time to do something for you.
Yes.
If you look someone in the eyes and tell them hey man, what's your name? Thank you. I appreciate your support. I'll see you next time I'm in town. That could mean as much for someone. So
Yeah, that's what I try to do.
We can't ever forget how important these little things are. They're little to us.
Yep.
They're not little to someone else.
Yeah, I did the convention today, and I always stand in front of my table.
Yeah.
And I always introduce myself to. Say what's your name and everything like that, and try to get personal with them, man. Because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't get to do my passion,
Yeah.
I'd be at who knows where I'd be at right now. So
Yeah.
thank God for the gang, the fans, man. You know.
Another thing that's, I know you're not super on social media. I know you are, but you're not like
Yeah.
with it like a lot of people are now, right? But something that I think we can all get better at is we'll get 20, 30, 40 good, hey man, appreciate you, thank you, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then one person will roast us.
Yeah.
And then that one will be like, damn, I can't believe, like,
Yeah.
message that guy back, like, whatever it is. And it's like, why are you feeding the negative when it's like there's 20, 30 positives? Like, give those people some
I'll
love.
tell you what, Chris, that shit don't bother me one bit, man. All that hate, if you want to hate on me or anything. But guess what never happens, Chris? It never happens in my face.
Yeah?
I have never had a guy come up to me and say, you suck or anything like that in my face or anything. They're always keyboard tough guys. And, I don't pay attention to that, man.
Yeah.
So I just pay attention to the positivity.
Yeah.
All the guys out there and the gang and everything, man. And that's what I go off of.
Yeah. And the younger guys and girls in wrestling, see us as kind of like an avatar. And if we're, paying attention to some stupid shit, they're more likely to do it. So we gotta, even if it sticks with us or whatever, we gotta just keep on.
I went to that negative place. I've been locked up to prison, and I went to that negative place, man, and I learned to sink all the positivity out of that place and leave the negative. And I just took that home with me into the professional wrestling. Read it. All right, well, who the hell are you anyway?
Yeah.
Get out of here, man. You know who I listen to? I listen to my good friends. I listen to older generation wrestlers, new generation wrestlers. People that have my back and everything like that. That can help me and everything like that. And then I tried to get my word out. That's it.
Tell me about Lawrence Taylor.
Oh, LT's my favorite.
Yeah.
There's a fan out there, Gerard, who drew me an LT poster, man. LT is my favorite athlete of all time. He's the best linebacker of all time. Everybody knows that. Couldn't block LT. I grew up with the Giants. My dad was a Giants fan.
Yeah.
So every time I go over to my dad's house, back in the day, we would get New York channels. We would get Channel 11, and we would get Giant games.
Yeah.
And I became a Mets fan, too.
Yeah.
Until the 93 Phillies. Yes.
Yeah.
And it was over. Now I'm a Phillies fan. But I've always been a Giants fan, always will, from my, because of my dad, man. And it all came from, Phil Simms, Rodney Hampton, Lawrence Taylor, man. Carl Banks.
Yeah.
I can name that whole team, man. So.
It was Pepper Johnson?
Pepper Johnson.
Pepper Johnson. I did a football camp when I was, I think, maybe 4th, 5th grade, and my coach was Pepper Johnson.
Really?
Yeah. We had this thing. I'm from Dayton, Ohio, right? And two players, Keith Byers and Martin Bayless.
Oh, Keith Byers.
They were from Dayton, so every year they do get everybody together and just have a football camp for the kids. And so that's how I originally became an Eagles fan, because one year they brought 15 Eagles.
Yeah.
Me being
Keith Byers.
10-year-old, I'm like, oh man, I met Reggie White, I met Randall Cunningham, whatever. So I became an Eagles fan for a while.
Keith Byers used to be able to run the ball up the middle and also go out and catch passes and stuff.
Yep.
And back in the day, that wasn't heard of these days. Now, running backs are used so differently.
Yeah.
They're like scat backs and stuff like that.
Can I get your thoughts on Daniel Jones?
Ah, man. He's okay.
Yeah.
He's
a Duke guy, so I want him to do well.
A Duke
I want him to do well.
I know he's a Duke guy. I know the Mannings worked with him. Because the Mannings always go down to Duke and work with that the coach down there. I think he's having a great year right now, man. I think this is his best year so far.
Yeah.
You know, he lays it all on the line. Just I think he's missing something. You know, his contract's coming up, so we're gonna find out if they're gonna re-sign him or not. But like, what are you gonna get in the NFL these days? You know, like quarterbacks are they're not a dime a dozen, man.
Yeah.
You know, you get one good quarterback, man. You can go on a run.
Yeah.
But quarterbacks are different these days, man. Some are run. Look at the Chicago quarterback, Justin Fields.
Yeah, finally
He
breaking
couldn't.
through.
Yeah, he couldn't throw the ball for nothing, but they let him loose on running the ball.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden that opened up his passing game.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones, pocket passer. I don't mind him. I like him. He's better than a lot of quarterbacks that I'd rather not have Baker Mayfield. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'd rather have Daniel Jones than Baker Mayfield. You know, so but I like Barkley, Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, oh man,
he's awesome, man. He blew his knee out and he still came back.
Yeah,
and now he's like the
busted his
leading.
ass,
Man, he's the leading rusher. So I think we're missing. I think we're missing. Maybe a good defense. Somewhere where we can get people off the field quick, and then we can run the we can run through the running game, or we can do the passing game. But I think we need a good defense, man.
Yeah.
I think that's what the Giants are missing, man. Really.
Well, these take a little while to get edited, and I got to get the art for it. So hopefully by the time this comes out, we'll be like, man, Daniel Jones finally came through on the other side, man.
Yeah, well, it's contract year for him,
Yeah.
man. So he better come in. We were in there, Thanksgiving with Cowboys, and then the second half happened, and we got blown out, man. And I like Brian Daboll, the new head coach. So, I got faith in him. I think he's a good coach, but I need Daniel Jones, man, playing for a contract. So we'll see.
What do you have a memory, like your first memory of pro wrestling? First time you saw it, first time you heard of it?
Wow.
Something come to mind?
Yeah, so first time I seen it, I was at my dad's house. He was a big wrestling fan.
Yeah.
So we would go on the weekends to Pop's house, my dad.
Yeah.
And he would put on 605 NWA.
Yes.
He was the NWA guy. And, I guess just, watching that, growing up watching that. And then I started getting into that. And then, of course, you had WWE on 11 a.m. So I would watch that. But I remember watching NWA and being like, man, this wrestling's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I found out about Smoky Mountain Wrestling, which I was a fan of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked that, man. I really liked the promos they did down there. I thought they were unique down there. So.
Yeah. And I just loved the way, like, the energy from the crowd would come through on those tapes.
Right.
Like, you're just like, man, they're fired up. It wasn't ECW, but it was like its own kind of thing. It had its own flavor.
Yes.
I feel like so much wrestling now is homogenized, where it's like the same people, the same kind of matches, the same looking venue, the same whatever. And it's not bad. It's good. But it just doesn't have its identity. It doesn't have that flavor.
Right. I would also say about Smoky Mountain, rest in peace, New Jack. His promos in Smoky Mountain were awesome. Him and Mustafa Saeed, man. They were my favorites. So when they came in ECW, I was so fired up. I remember when they beat up PG-13.
Yeah.
They came in for one show, PG-13, and New Jack whooped their ass, man. And I wasn't a big PG-13 fan, man.
Yeah.
I was, what's his name? Dirty White Boy was here today.
Yeah.
Tony Anthony. He was one of my favorite at Smoky Mountain.
Yeah.
He was probably my favorite wrestler.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then like NWA, I liked the Outcast kind of guys. Like I liked Bunkhouse Buck.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, man, I was a big Bunkhouse Buck fan. Like, stuff like that. I mean, of course, everybody likes Flair and all that stuff. But if you watch 605, they would always have like different guys on there. You know what I mean? Bunkhouse Buck was my guy, man. Yeah, I did a show with him, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I came up to him at AIW. You knew AIW.
Of course, yeah, Cleveland.
And I went up to him, man, and I you know me, man. I introduced myself, man. I said, I'm Nick Gage, man. I just want to introduce yourself to you, man. I just want to let you know that I'm a big fan of yours, man. And I just wanted to let you know that, man. And it was dope, man. It's just one of them things, you know.
It's cool to, because you know what it feels like when somebody tells you that. And then he was also a heel. Heel in kind of the end of the kayfabe era, so he's not going to have a lot of people saying they love
tobacco, spitting it out.
God. His hair, you know, yeah.
I think he put the coal miner glove on sometimes. Remember that?
Yeah, of course. Tell me about the Circle.
The Circle.
Tell me about the Circle. Your boys growing up.
Okay. Yeah. Wow, you know about the Circle, huh? You did research.
Did some research, bro.
These are my peoples that I grew up with National Park. The Circle is my boy Hazen, my boy Billy, but we call him Boo Boo. Don't ask me.
Yeah.
Why? But we call him Boo Boo.
Yep.
We got Big E. And who am I missing on this one? God, I've seen these guys. Oh, we got Eddie, Yukaki. Shout out to Eddie, man.
Yeah.
We got Brian. These are all just my best friends I grew up with, man. We got Snake, man. Jake, the Snake. He's a snake, man. Shout out to Jake Spellman.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we called him Snake.
Yep.
Not because Jake Snake Roberts, he was just a snake. Like, if you have him over for your parties, you better keep an eye on him. You know what I mean? He might, not at my house, but like we go like some party where we don't know somebody, he might fucking leave out with your fucking shit, man. So we always called him a snake.
Watch out for Snake, man.
Yeah, Snake, man. But he's a good guy, man.
Yeah.
And we always hung out with each other every day, man. Yeah. Every day, man. So we were like, Circle, man.
Did how did you end up backyard wrestling? How'd you end up?
Oh, how did we do that?
Yeah.
That came through my brother.
Yeah.
We would go to my dad's house, and we would just tear his house apart, man. Poor Pops.
On the weekends, he's like,
yes. On the floor, and then he would ram my head through a freaking wall, and my dad would just be like, what the fuck? And then we started doing it on the trampoline.
Yep.
And then, like, people in the neighborhood would come over and watch us wrestle. So we said, you know what, let's start a promotion. We called it HBW, Hardcore Backyard Wrestling.
Yeah.
That's pretty simple.
Yep.
And we started like having concession stands.
Mm-hmm.
We sold our tapes into our school. We were still in high school.
Yep.
And we treated it like a show, man. And people from the town would come pay $5 to come in and watch wrestling. And then we take that money and put it back into the promotion.
Yeah. So it was you, Chris, and who else?
Yeah. So it was Chris, my brother, who ran the shit. He came up with all the storylines.
The booker.
Yo, definitely the booker. Guy can't lose for nothing. Rest in peace. It would be TCK, Tables, Chairs, Chaos, Brian.
Yeah.
It'd be Rick Blade, if anybody remembers Rick Blade.
I didn't know Rick was a part of that.
Yeah, Rick Blade was a part of that.
He was from your neighborhood?
No, he worked with Brian, TCK, and he came over and he started wrestling with us.
TCK did early CZW,
early,
is that right?
Yes, and he just didn't like it. He just he didn't like wrestling, so he's like, I'm out of here. Yeah. And let's see, we had Twid, Michael Kidd. Shout out to you. That's my best friend since I was 5 years old.
Yeah.
We have Frolic, but Frolic wouldn't do any of the wrestling. Frolic would be the camera guy. So shout out to Frolic.
How do you get the name Frolic?
That's his last name.
Oh, it's shit. It wasn't because he was.
No.
out in the.
No, not frolicking, not frolicking long. No, no, no.
And so is this
Andrew is his name.
Andrew?
But I always call him by his last name. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? He lives in Vegas now. He does like sports betting and everything like that. Yeah, he's doing really good, man. So every time like GCW goes to Vegas, I get to see him. He always comes and says what's up, and we would just put on shows, man, and people would come. We would get like 15, 20 people. You know what I mean? They come watch us wrestle.
Is HBW, is that the birth of Hard Ass Nick?
A Hard Ass Nick
Yeah.
is the birth. No.
No, where
Hard
where
Ass
Hard
Nick comes from NWA New Jersey. So I used to be Hardcore Nick.
Yeah.
I never had a last name yet. And they're like, well, we can't use Hardcore, you know, because, you know, that beef with ECW.
Yeah.
So I was, they were like, well, how about Hard Ass Nick? And I'm like, I'm young, bro.
Yeah.
Like, this is like my third match. I'm in a locker room with, like, you know, guys I was just sitting in a chair making fun of and watching.
Just 35-year-old men.
Yeah, I remember, you know, messing with these guys and turning my chairs around on them and stuff like that.
Are we talking like Tom Brandy? Like, who are we talking about?
Tom Brand. We're talking Steve Carino.
Oh,
yes,
damn.
that whole locker room. We're talking Donnie B, the booker.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so Tiny B was like, "Well, we gotta call you Hard Ass Nick," and I said, well, you know, what am I gonna do? Argue, man? I'm young, man. You know, I have respect, so I was like, all right. That's how Hard Ass Nick came out.
Okay. So what was your HBW gimmick?
I was Hardcore Nick.
Just Hardcore Nick.
Yeah.
What about your brother?
My brother was Justice Payne.
Just Justice Payne. He had that name before.
Yeah.
He stuck
Justice
with it.
Payne, man, and then John's like, I told John I need a last name, so I was thinking of like a 12 gauge shotgun, you know. So I used to spell it Gauge. Then I was thinking like this is too long, so I spelled it Gage, man.
Yeah.
Hey, so nice and simple. Nick Gage.
Yeah, it works.
I love it. Yeah, it's doing good right now.
So when did you cross over that threshold as a wrestling fan, going from, wow, this is, you know, these guys are kicking ass, or this, that, and whether these guys hate each other, to like, damn, I think they're kind of working with each other. I think it's kind of a show. When did you start to realize it was a work?
I think once I got into business, once I started training, I started training. Yeah. That's why I think I smartened up, you know.
Did you get to go to many shows as a kid?
Yeah, I went to all the ECW shows in Philadelphia. I never went anywhere else but Philly. Yeah. I had that Club ECW, if anybody knows about ECW. They would have a Club ECW where you would have your same seat every single time. Yeah. Yeah.
Are you able to spot yourself on any of the old tapes?
Yeah, people spot me on WWE, whatever.
Network?
Yeah, all the time, man. I'm on there all the time, second row. Right by the entranceway.
Man, that's awesome.
Right where Tommy Dreamer, the entranceway where he got choke slammed.
Oh, the Brian.
The Brian Lee.
Damn.
Yeah.
Who else used to go to these shows? Because I mean, the people you would be at these shows with.
So it would be me, the ones who were diehards who went to every single one was me, my brother, and Brian, and then Twin. My kid, he would come once in a while, and Andrew Frog, he would come once in a while. Yeah. But it was just me, my brother, and Brian who used to go all the time, man. Yeah, it was awesome. I remember one time, New Jack had that noose, remember, with the fork on it, and it was laying right by my fucking feet, and I just like snagged the I snagged New Jack's thing. And I went and bought his. Remember, you used to have the pants where you had like Tommy Boy on it, stuff like that. Yeah, I went and bought them. I was a big New Jack fan, man. So I was like,
So you got to remember, if you're out there sometime and some kid grabs your pizza cutter, the instinct is give me and then you got to be like, oh man. Yeah. I'm glad New Jack didn't whip my ass.
Yeah, right. I have the original pizza cutter, man.
Yeah?
Still, yes, Dewey has it in his luggage. Dewey holds on.
Yep,
And
yep.
Dewey still has the same coat
Bro,
that he has wore this whole
that thing
career.
needs a touch up. It's so like
It needs a bonfire.
it's like honeydew now. It used to be like dew like Mountain Dew. Now it's like
It's bad.
yeah.
Yeah. But Dewey, Dewey don't make all the shows, but I told
Yeah.
Dewey, man, that anytime I'm on a show, you are always welcome, and
Yeah.
you're always going to be my manager because I'll tell you a little story about Dewey, man. When I got locked up, man, they fired CZW and DJ Hyde, fired Dewey and fired Nate Hatred right away as soon as I got locked up. So as soon as I got out, I called Dewey on the phone and said, "Man, I'm out. Get ready. I'm gonna start making some noise." And then I called Nate Hatred, man. And I said, "Man, let's put this hate club thing back together."
Yeah.
And we did, man. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Yeah, man. It was awesome, bro. I mean, I still have my singles career focused on, but I just wanted to bring everybody back together. So anytime we're in Atlantic City, Dewey's always there, and,
Yep.
and Dewey will come out with me all the time.
Yeah. I caught a bit of that Deathmatch Hall of Fame and
Yeah,
was
man.
glad to
I
see
like
him
that
as a
shit,
part of
man.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think GCW's doing great things,
Yeah.
man. We're paying respect to everybody who's out there, man. You know, the older generation. And then we bring in the older generation. We said Tommy Wildfire Rich on the
Yep.
show.
Yep.
We have Scorpio all the time, man.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah.
just us giving
That's what
back.
Paulie did. Paulie would bring in these guys
Yep.
that as a young kid you're like, I don't know.
Yep.
And then just slowly educate you, you know. I didn't know who Tommy Rogers was when
Yeah.
I was watching ECW, and then you look back later, you're like, damn.
Right.
Okay. I had the privilege to induct Tracy Smothers in the Independent Wrestling Hall of Fame. That really meant a lot to me.
I
to
love
kind of-
Tracy. Rest in peace.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that one hurt a little bit. I became friends with Tracy at AIW.
Yeah.
And just talking to him, man, it's just a super, super,
Yeah.
super nice guy.
Yeah.
And for all the years in this business he has done,
Yeah.
just he's in a better place right now. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
But I love Tracy, man.
I would always tell people I met Tracy when I was 19, and he was like the first like legit vet that would like put you over and just make you feel good about yourself,
Yep.
man. And it's like, when you're young, it's like, I don't know, you're just so nervous and you're like, I don't want to piss anybody off. I don't
Right.
want whatever. And then this guy's like, hey man, that was great. That was good. How old are you? Where are you from? And like actually caring about
Yep.
you. That shit is important.
He was exactly the same way to me, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And all these years later, you
Yeah,
know?
and we both hate Hulk Hogan.
I'll get into that a little bit
Yeah.
later. I got that in my notes.
All right, we'll save
That's something
it.
I've been burning to ask.
Please.
So how did you find the wrestling school? How'd you meet John? Like
Okay.
how did this all come about?
Okay, so we would film our backyard tapes, and there'd be a guy who was in my grade called Ace Robinson. So his dad worked for NWA New Jersey.
Oh.
So remember, John worked for NWA New Jersey.
The icon, bro.
As the fucking icon. The Ottoman Warrior gimmick,
Yeah,
remember that?
Yeah, of course.
And so they gave a tape to him, and John invited us down to the school.
Yeah.
Well, I had a baseball game that day, so my brother went down, and then as soon as I was done my baseball game, I got my car, and I drove down. I couldn't find the place,
Damn.
so I missed the first day.
Yeah.
So me and my brother, I get back to the house, my brother's ripping me a new one, you know what I mean? How you missed the first day of training and everything. And we got in a fist fight that night.
Damn.
Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, I don't mind that shit, man.
Yeah.
Me and my brother fight all the time. And then the next day, it's just hard to find, man, the old building. You had to go down like the side road and shit. I found it, man, and we went in, and did a tryout. And I did some back bumps and everything like that, and he was like, all right.
Yeah.
And then within like, he seen something, and like all of us, so within like, I would say once Trent and them started coming, or maybe before that, we started running shows.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have to pay my dues, my wrestling dues. I would just wrestle. Yeah, yeah, and I wrestled for like 2 years without getting paid to pay off my dues for wrestling school.
You're paying with your bumps.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Who was teaching you? Was it John? Were there other people?
So John Dahmer was mostly the head trainer. If anybody knows John Dahmer out there, he was great at busting moves down and explaining it to you and why you're putting them in. So he was there. You know, we had John was kind of an outside the ring guy.
Yeah.
Like would just give his 2 cents. And then we had, you know, like me and you were talking off camera. We had like Tom Carter.
Reckless Youth, man.
Reckless Youth. If you're listening to this, shout out to you, man. I never forgot what you told me. Always stay in the ring. Always keep training. Now I tell the young guys that. We had, you know, guys like that. Don Montoya, Quackenbush would come through, you know, and we would learn off them guys, man.
Yeah.
And then, you know, and then you just keep doing it, and you just keep doing it, and you just get better and better, you know.
Yeah.
So, and then, but.
So was Rick Blade training at this time too?
Yeah, Rick Blade was training.
Yep.
Yeah. So we came first, and then I. And then once me and my brother came, that's when I brought in Brian, TCK. That's when I brought Rick Blade. I said, try this out. You know, it's legit. Yeah. Lobo was there first.
Yeah.
So Lobo was he was the first student. So he was there learning.
Yeah.
And,
he met John elsewhere, or how did he end up there? Do we know?
I'm not sure how him and John connected.
Yeah.
But he was there first, I remember that, and then
so
we came
so
in.
this building, it was in Jersey.
Yeah, it was in Jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And who was
South
it?
Jersey.
Was it NWA New Jersey ring or who?
No,
who's,
it was John's ring.
John's
John
ring.
rented out a building.
Yeah.
It was like, I guess, a garage.
Yep.
Yeah. And it was his ring, man. And we had keys to the place, so we can go down there and do whatever we want.
Yep.
And, you know, when you're that age, all you want to do is be in that ring.
Yep.
You know? But the first time I ever got in the ring was we threw a birthday party, which it wasn't really his birthday, but we lied, down at the Monster Factory. You remember the Monster Factory?
Of course,
yeah. You of course you remember. And Larry Sharp, you know, rest in peace. We paid him. We got in the ring. We thought it was the best thing ever, man.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I want to do this, you know, because
hooked, man.
Yeah, I was hooked. Yeah,
Hooked.
Yeah, it was cool.
So you graduated high school in '98, right?
Yeah.
What was it? You ended up in Cancun. You had a little vacation.
Yeah,
in Cancun.
Cancun,
You came
Mexico.
back from Cancun. Now you're back. You're training.
Yeah.
Do you know how long you trained before you had your first match on a show?
Oh, man. So, my first match was, I believe, Break the Barriers. So, if you can do math like that, you know, I'm pretty sure. And then I wrestled another match in NWA New Jersey against Twiggy Ramirez.
Yeah, Twiggy Ramirez.
Yeah.
I did this flip neck breaker. I got that shit from Twiggy.
Yeah.
1999, I saw him do that, and I was like, "Oh, let me have that, Twiggy."
Yeah, he flipped me over
Yeah.
and put me in a side lock, or no, a headlock like this.
Yeah.
And he said, "Change your plan, kid," and he just changed it on me, man.
Yeah.
But I like bumping and all that, so I didn't mind it, dude. So I was just feeding off him, like he switched the whole match on me.
Yeah.
So I just fed off it and all that shit, man. So I didn't mind it at all.
Yeah.
And I remember my brother had a Inferno kid. Remember him?
Yeah.
And he switched the match on him. They didn't like us. And as you can tell.
Yeah.
And my brother, got a little steam. He got a little hot.
Yeah.
So John kind of stepped in, and And them dudes fucking know how John gets down, man.
Yep.
You fucking with my boys. And me, I just didn't make it a scene at all, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, man, I'm just paying my dues and whatever it is. And if you need me to bump, I'm a bumping machine right now, man.
Yep.
So I remember that. NWA New Jersey.
Yeah. So when John, do you remember John telling you, like, hey, let's start running shows, we're going to call it Combat Zone Wrestling?
So,
what do you remember about
so
that?
we ran one show. It was like a Halloween show.
Yeah.
And people would come through, like, it was like a Halloween, like, thing. So you would go through, like, one spot would be, like a scary Halloween guy. And then you would get to our building, and it would be wrestlers fucking smashing fucking shit over each other's heads and stuff. And they just do walkthroughs.
Yeah.
That was my first ever, like...
First audience, live audience.
Yeah, kind of a lot of audience.
Yeah.
They were probably like, what's up with these guys?
This?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. When do you remember meeting Trent Acid? Was it in training, or did you meet him at the arena?
No, I never met him at the arena. I know he went to the ECW arena.
Yeah.
And I never met him there. Training.
Training.
Yeah, getting on training.
Yeah.
Trent. You know, Johnny, Nick Burke. You know, and then they brought Wife Beater.
Yeah.
You know, and then and then Max Smack came, and then you know, it just started blowing up, man. Yeah, it was cool. Trent was a good friend of mine. You know, I all like you know, I had my friends who I hung out with at my house, and then I had my like wrestling friends that I would hang out with, maybe after a show or something. But Trent was the only one that I would call. He would come over to my house and just hang out with me, shit like that. So, you know, rest in peace, Trent Acid, man.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I keep saying it so much, man. R.I.P.
Yeah.
Man, it's a shame, man.
You know what? We say their names, man. It just keeps them alive.
Yeah, absolutely.
To the people that there's somebody that's going to be watching this that hadn't heard of Trent Acid, or maybe they've heard his name, they just haven't seen a match.
Yeah,
but
Jordan
after
Oliver, he keeps his name alive by throwing the acid kick.
Yeah.
And he calls it the acid kick, man.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's awesome. And we hold a like kind of like a acid. It's called the Acid Cup.
Yep.
And we hold that in GCW, just trying to keep these guys' names alive.
Yeah.
Because you know, GCW don't do shit like that, man.
Yeah. Like, I remember getting the magazines as a kid, and then I started watching wrestling in '89. That's when I started like watching it every week.
Yeah.
But my mom would take me to like garage sales or flea markets, and there'd be some wrestling magazines. So I get a magazine from '82. I get one from '79.
I used to
get
collect
one from
them.
'84. Yeah. So I would read about these guys and be like, oh, who's this? Oh, this guy Bruiser Brody looks sick. Like, cool. And then come to find out, like, oh no, he passed. You know, like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, that's weird. I never got to see him when he was alive.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Bruiser Brody.
Yeah. But just seeing that made me think, like, wow, this guy's he's one of my favorites to this day.
Yeah.
So, you know, before I even watched wrestling, he was gone, but we keep that alive by passing
Absolutely,
that on.
man.
Yeah.
Of course we do.
So I graduated '98 as well. I started training summer of '98. Had my first match in September. Do you know what my wrestling name was in my very first match? Do you know this?
No, I don't.
My wrestling name was Wife Beater.
Was it really?
It sure was, bro.
No, it was not.
Yeah, so...
How did that happen?
So, it's 1998. You know, Cops was on TV all the time, and then the tank tops started getting called wife beaters. Right?
Yes.
And it wasn't.
I call them to this day.
Yeah, it was just kind of a funny thing. It wasn't like, it was kind of tongue in cheek, right? So I remember there was a group of us that would go to the high school basketball games in the crowd, and we'd have our wife beaters on and whatever. And it was because growing up, wife beaters are like, oh, that's like old people clothes. Like, kids don't wear those, right?
Yeah.
But we're wearing these. And my dad had some like ratty looking ones. So
I
I'd take
always wear
my
wife
dad's.
beaters.
Yeah, so we'd go to the games and wear them.
Yeah, I get it.
When I was thinking of a wrestling name, I was like, you know, just trying to think of something different, and then I was like, oh well, that'll be funny. Like I got no facial hair. I'm just like a little shaved head, baby face looking guy. Like I'll be wife beater, but it'll be because I'm wearing a wife beater, not because. So you see a name on a poster, and then you see the person, and it's just like a contrast. That's what was going on in my head.
Yeah, I get it.
So I started doing wife beater. I started wrestling on some shows. I eventually got booked.
Yeah, how do you translate from white beater to
Chris
Hero?
Yeah, I got booked on an NWA West Virginia show.
Okay.
I rode with this guy named Logan Kane, Al Snow's half brother. We're Ohio guys. He brought me along, got me booked for this show, and the guy was like, "Hey, I can't have you wrestle as wife beater. Like I got kids, I got whatever. So on the way to the show, come up with something." And I'm like, "Damn." I had
on the spot.
a Superman sleeveless like cutoff shirt that I would wear when I played football. I thought it was cool to have a Superman shirt under my shoulder pads, right? So I had that with me, and we pulled into like a gas station. Right next to the gas station was a Greek place, Greek Euros. So I was like, what if I was Chris Hero, but it's HYRO? Like, I'm already overthinking too much. Overthinking with wife beater, overthinking with hero. So I wrestled that show as Chris Hero, but then people would either say Chris Hiro or they would spell it Chris Hero. So you with Gage with the U, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to be HERO, Chris Hero.
Yeah.
And then I was going back and forth. Some shows I'd be wife beater, some shows I'd be whatever. I remember on the old AOL message boards reading results from a show in New Jersey. I don't remember the company. I saw a result. Wife beater Matt Martini. And I was like, there's another wife beater? Like, what the fuck, man? We're going to have to fight for that, And then, obviously, you meet him years later. But it's funny that two goobers in two fucking different parts of the country came up with that, roughly around the same time.
Yeah, we stopped calling him by his name. We just called him White Beater.
Yeah, hey, Beater.
Yeah, he looked like a White Beater, too. He used to come out with the potato chips.
Yep.
And then Max Smack, rest in peace. We did that, like that death match Hall of Fame, and it took me, oh God, man, it took me, I would say about 3 to 4 years to get White Beater to come to the show.
Yeah.
Because he didn't know what was going on with like he said he don't follow it.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to tell him, man, like GCW, man, we're doing, it's cool, man, it's fun, man, it's awesome, bro. We'll get you a room, man. Bring the wife down. We'll all 9 yards. Nah, I can't, man. I can't. Well, this year he came.
Yeah.
Yep. And he loved it. And that's when Max Smack passed away right before he was going to get introduced.
Yeah.
So he's up there like, well, I don't really talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm like, bro, it's okay. You don't have to.
So.
It's like I never talked.
Yeah, it's a shame that Max Smack passed away before he can get his dues too.
Yeah.
But I worked hard. I was the guy who had to make the calls and try to get him in. Yeah, and finally said yeah, and I was like, and then then it was cool because he was watching the show and he's like, yo, this shit's awesome. and I'm like, I'm trying to tell him like, yeah, man, it's just not like some, it's back in the day
you think
stuff,
I was
man.
lying to you, man? Come on.
Yeah, this ain't no back in the day stuff where like, shows are just small now, man. Like the indies are like different these days, man. They're like hot, you can draw in the indies these days.
Yeah.
And
I don't want to disparage older independent wrestling companies, but there was like a very kind of a southern work the crowd and they were older guys that maybe leftovers from the territories, and there'd be like maybe one match where guys are doing like head scissors or something like that, and it just was very different. Now it's like every match has this crazy that you're like, I can't even keep up with this.
And then like somehow it became that the first match is so important as maybe the last match.
Yeah.
To get the crowd fired up, get them on their feet.
The show's going to be 4 hours long, so you want to be first. So you're like, I want to get that reaction right away. I want to get them while they're still hot.
I like being in the main event, man. I take pride in that. I think it's just something that, like, you're in the main event. Well, that means I'm doing something right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I take pride in doing.
I
being
like
the main
that
event.
it is, you got all day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just, I don't know, it calms me, makes you
Yeah.
feel you're good. You can poke your head out and maybe watch the opening match of the show, kind of get a
Yeah.
feel for the crowd.
I call it the waiting game,
Yeah.
man. Because you're just
Yeah.
waiting, and I don't sit down. I'm pacing back and forth.
Yeah.
I'm going over in my head. Just
Yeah. And I take it as a challenge too, because so
They
many
do.
guys are good now that you're like, the crowd is going to be tired as hell
Right.
by the time that main event happens. But I did so many shows for PWG over the years.
Yeah.
And there'd be a match, you'd be like, how are you going to top that? How? Or you'd
Right.
get in the back, you'd be like, all right, good luck, y'all. Good luck.
Yeah, right.
But when you have that spot, you're like, all right, I sink or swim.
yeah.
It's just, it's good for your confidence.
Yeah, but you had for you had a name for yourself. So, you built your name.
Yeah.
So they already, when you come out, the crowd's already gonna know what,
Yeah.
you're gonna go out here and be awesome and tear it up, man.
Yeah.
I loved you in the tag team, Death by Elbow.
Yeah. Oh.
Yes.
Me and Jay, we always had so much fun, man.
Yeah. What is his name again?
JT Dunn.
JT. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
JT. I should have known your name,
Yeah,
bro.
he's-
I'm friends with you, man.
Yeah.
You're a great guy. JT is he's back out there doing it, man. He's doing it good, man.
Yeah.
And
Hard
I
worker.
always loved your guys' tag team, man.
Yeah.
And I love the name, the Death by the Elbow, man.
Yeah.
It's cool. And you used to wrestle that Japanese style, man. The big kicks,
Yep,
the big.
yep.
Oh, your forearms are perfect,
Sweat
dude.
flying.
Yeah, I was one of your fans on the low, man. I really loved your wrestling style,
Yeah,
man.
I'd hear you on commentary. I'd be watching
Yeah.
the match back. I'd be like, damn, thank you, Nikki.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that just because you're standing next to
Yeah.
me, man. I keep it real, man.
Yeah.
I'm saying that, for the truth and heart,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, no problem, bro.
All right, so you're working these shows. You're kind of getting a feel for it. You're mostly doing CZW, but like you said, you're doing a little bit of NWA New Jersey.
Yeah, but it's mostly
Yeah.
CCW, man.
Yeah.
I try to stay loyal.
Yep. Yep.
You know, I didn't go nowhere else.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do any other shows, which I kind of regret today because all I'm doing is wrestling once a month.
Yeah.
But we had that Japanese thing going. I was
Yeah.
like, 19 when we started going to Big Japan?
Yeah.
I might have been 18, man. And then we, practically lived over there for 4 years.
Yeah.
We would go over there for 3 weeks, come home for a week, go back over for 3 weeks, come home for a week,
Yep.
back over 3 weeks, and competitive.
Yeah.
I turned 21 over there, man.
Yeah.
I remember. And I think I kind of kind of mastered my craft a little bit there.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of like running shows once a month,
Yeah.
as Tom Carter would say, reckless youth. Always
get
try
in
to
there.
stay in the ring. And that's what I tell the younger generation, man. The money might not be there right now, but try to get booked and get in that ring and wrestle in front of an audience and just keep working at your craft, man. And then the money will come later once it's your time because you'll be ready. When you work on your fucking craft and then, let's say 4 or 5 years down the line and then your time is now, you'll be ready to go.
Ready to go,
You know
man.
what I mean? And then the money will start coming in,
Yeah.
I try to tell the young guys that, man. So
It's tough. You want it now. You want it
Yeah,
now.
I feel
And you
you.
see the man next to you. He's getting it right now. You're like, damn, why not me? Fuck.
yeah,
Um,
competitive sport, right?
was it John that set up you guys' match on Break the Barrier? Did that come through Zandig?
Yeah, that came from John. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. it was
Yo, you got to wrestle in the ECW arena.
I know, bro. Who you
Packed
telling?
crowd.
Who you
How
telling?
how'd that feel that day?
I was fired up, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we had a staple gun ladder match.
Yep.
So
Gotta
I
get that
believe we
staple
were the
gun.
first one to use the staple gun.
Yeah.
And we were just like, we didn't know. We were just bumping our asses off. You know what I mean? There was no storytelling or anything. We were just bumping, and the crowd was so into it
Yeah.
that it was awesome. I remember I got thrown off the entranceway
Yeah.
through one table.
Damn.
That shit hurt, man. Yeah, and John thought I was in bad shape. Came running over. You all right, kid? and I'm like, I can't breathe. I got the wind knocked out of me,
Yep.
but
Yep.
I got back up, got back in the ring, and I beat Justice Payne, my brother, with a Fisherman Buster off the top rope, man,
Damn.
for a finish.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
What was it like in that locker room? I mean, there were so many matches, but then people from all over. You got some
We
legends.
got a lot. I got a lot of hate, man.
Yeah.
I caught a couple guys, talking shit, so I'm like, what are you talking shit for, man? Say it to my face and shit.
Yeah.
So I grew up, throwing my hands, man. So I don't care about getting
Yeah.
in fights. Oh, they smile in your face and stuff like that, or how are we gonna follow that? You guys did everything, back at the old school ways.
Yeah.
Well, go out there and fucking be
Yeah.
you and do your match, man. So
Who would have come back and put you over? Tracy Smothers.
yes, he
He would
would.
have seen that shit. Like, he may not have even thought it made sense, but he'd be like, "Oh my God, these guys are crazy."
Yeah.
Oh man, brother did this, and brother came off and did this. Yeah.
Yeah. And at the time, nobody knew we were brothers.
Yeah.
We kayfabed that. Yeah, we did, and we were just because we were in a feud, and that put CZW on the map, man.
Yeah.
That match, that was a big moment for us, man. I remember, man, my brother, God, he wanted to practice that match. Oh, man, all through the week. And I'm just like, listen, man, we got this.
Yeah.
I want to go play some basketball and, hang out with my boys, because we go down at 6 o'clock and we go down to our little elementary school where I went. National Park has elementary school, and I went there. And we would play pickup basketball
Yep.
there. And people from other towns would come, and we'd go down there and play pick up basketball, man. I just wanted to do that, and he wants to go over the match a million times, man. And I'm like, Jesus, how much times can we go over? You want to write it down like Randy Savage too?
Yep.
Yeah.
How'd you like teaming with your brother?
It was better
bit
than
of a-
wrestling him.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
It was okay.
Yeah.
I prefer Nate, man. I really love teaming with Nate. Me and Nate got along great. We understood. Chris, it was alright. It was fine. I just didn't like wrestling him at all, man.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's a hard dynamic when you're brothers too.
yeah. Well, it's just like sometimes you just don't slow down, take it easy, man. Like. He didn't know how to do any of that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and then I try to talk to him at the house, and he don't want to listen, man, and shit like that. So.
So did John call you up one day and say, "Hey, you gotta get a passport"?
Yep.
Yeah, and then
We went to New York City.
Yeah.
Yeah, went to New York City. Got my visa.
Yep.
Got my passport, and I remember one time I went and got my visa renewed, and I got my visa, and usually they're 6 months.
Yeah.
So I get all the way to Japan, right? And I have a 3-month visa, and it ran out, and I thought I had a 6-month.
Yeah.
So somebody made a mistake, or I didn't realize it, or whatever.
Yeah.
So I had to fly all the way back from Japan the next day, dude. Yeah,
They don't mess around, man. They do not
They
play.
do not. And I sat in my room and played video games. I used to bring my PlayStation.
Yep.
And I would just play video games, and then get on a fucking plane and head home
Yeah.
for another 18 hours.
Damn.
Right?
Damn.
You know what it is, man.
Your first tour of Japan? What was it like for you over
Oh,
there?
it was awesome. So we came in and we just beat up everybody, and we're CZW, we're coming in. It's not like I'm coming in as just Nick Gage. We're coming in as a company,
Yeah.
CZW.
Yeah.
And this is Nick Gage, this is Just Payne, this is Whitebeater, this is John Zandig. And we would come in and we just beat the shit out of their top people.
Yeah.
And then, we started introducing. That's when Trent started coming in.
Yep.
And it was cool. So I wasn't there by myself. You know, I always had somebody there with me, which was cool. You know, could get lonely there a lot of times when you're there by
Yeah,
yourself.
especially at first before
Yeah.
you get used to everything
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah. I got so good at it that where I could ride the train.
Yep.
I could read the train stuff and all that stuff, get to Tokyo and all that stuff. But at first, you're like, wow, I don't even know if I can go down a couple blocks, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I thought it was interesting because you guys popped in for your BJW CZW match, right? But it was like midway through another tour. So they already had they had Mike Samples, they had
Yes.
Tower Doom, they had these other guys there. And it was like, Mike
Yeah.
Samples at that time was
Yeah,
like
Mike Samples was like the booker
yeah, he was
of
the
the
foreign
Americans.
talent. Yep. And then that was
Yeah, he
gonna-
left. Yeah, he was gone.
He's gone. He's gone. You guys came in and kind of changed
See you
things.
later, Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey
Yeah.
man. You
It's
don't
the
want
business,
to.
man.
You want to try to cruise it, man. You know.
Yep.
It is the business, and BJW don't mind doing fucking dirty shit like that. You know what I mean? Where like they'll fucking all right, Samples. Thanks for the 3 years you gave us and bringing all the boys over. You're not coming back.
Yeah.
You know, my boy Drew Parker. If you ever met Drew Parker,
I've not met him, but I'm familiar with him.
great guy, man. Nice dude. He was working for BJW, and he was the champ there. And he threw the belt back at him, man, which you know is kind of the disgrace.
Yeah.
And just their tactics and the way they do business. And he went over to Freedoms, you know, Junka Saiza company. That's who we work with.
Yep.
You know, we did a little BJW stuff when we go over to Japan, but Freedoms is really the people we work with, and when we're bringing in, you know, talent and stuff like that. So,
which of the Japanese talent did you just get fired up about working with?
Who was it?
You had Yamakawa. You had Homa.
Yeah, Homa.
Yeah.
Homa. I mean, I wrestled them all.
Yeah.
But John had like Homa.
Yeah.
Like he had so Corrigan Hall.
Yeah.
John would always have the big matches, you know. So, but I did wrestle Shadow WX before.
Bro, so my first tour
Yeah.
of Japan was at BJW, 2004. Pondo got me over.
Yeah.
My first match was myself and Men's Teo against Delirious and Shadow WX.
Wow.
How crazy, right?
Yeah.
Just in some small gym.
Yeah, Men's Teo too.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, team in Men's Club, bro.
Yeah. Men's Teo, a little funny too, huh?
Yeah. You know what? He and I bonded over like British wrestling. Like we love that technique. So we'd go in and
I love British wrestling.
he was fine with me.
I want to get to the UK so bad. I'm gonna try. Yeah, I'm gonna go get a passport and get a visa and try to get into the country. Because I think after certain years, I think my criminal background might
Lighten up a little bit.
Yeah, I think so. So I want to try the UK because they're dying to have me over there.
Yeah.
They just keep asking me and asking me and asking me, and I keep telling them, you know, I fucked up and I ruined my record. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I'd like to see you. I mean, I know you're gonna go and give the fans Nick Gage, right?
Absolutely.
But I would love to see you in there with one of those catch can.
Yeah,
I'd like to see you like in a rounds match and just take you out of your element a little bit and just some good ass
To be honest
wrestlers.
with you, Chris, since my time off, coming back, I want to do a lot more wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do, man. I always, I know I do deathmatch wrestling and I love it, but like the wrestling that you do and other people do, you with the holds and catch can.
Yeah.
If I'm saying it right.
Yeah.
That's my favorite wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I really love that stuff, bro. And I just want to try to do some more wrestling, you know, and stuff like that. I mean, don't get me wrong. Guy wants to get down with a death match. I'll do a death match.
Yeah.
But you know, I got like Tony Deppen coming up in L.A., man. You know, he don't do death matches, so I'm gonna have to wrestle him. I just wrestled Leo Rush.
Yep.
He don't do death matches. We just went 30 minutes. You know what I mean? So pretty cool.
I think for fans, I think some of the most interesting matches are those. I call them like Street Fighter matches because you've got E Honda with the sumo, right?
Yeah.
And you've got Yoga Flame Dawson, right? And it's like, ooh, what's going to happen to this guy in this style, and this guy and this guy. That's why like that Necro Samoa Joe match was so legendary.
Wow.
I mean, they brought it, but like it's the fantasy of what's going to happen with these two colossuses, right?
Right.
So I'd love to see you the Zack Sabers, the Doug Williamses, those guys.
I would love to wrestle Zach, man.
Yeah.
God, he'd twist me in a pretzel.
would.
I would have to poke him in the eye or something, man. Nah, he's a phenomenal wrestler, man. He's just one of them guys, man. One of them talents. Just wow. How do you transition from that hold to that hold to that hold? And amazing. I met him, and I actually got his number, man. He's actually a friend of mine, man.
Yeah.
So, that's him. Shout out to Will Ospreay if we're gonna throw him out. Will's a great guy, man. Well, he is to me. I got his number. He's my boy too. I can call him up anytime I want to say what's up to him. Yeah, he wrestled Nick Wayne at
the Prodigy.
Yes, and Nick Wayne's his favorite wrestler.
Yeah.
So it was cool to see Little Wayne get the wrestle his favorite wrestler and tear it up in front of a nice crowd. You know, it was great,
that
man.
Appreciated it. And just understand like, oh, that's like, he wants to be that.
Right. And it's like Lil Wayne, man. I usually come up, talk to him, you know what I mean, give him a little advice, man. Go tear it up. This time, man, it's like, man, just leave him alone. He's over there in the corner, all nervous as shit. But he did great, man. He did great, man.
Let's see what else. Matsunaga is a guy you got to work with over there.
Fire Death Match I did with him and Jun Kasai.
Yeah.
And by the way, he makes the best steak.
Matsunaga Steakhouse.
Hands down, best steakhouse. He's still cooking to this day.
He is. He's sweating his ass off on the grill.
And coming in cubes.
Yeah.
Hands down,
got that
best
garlic
steak.
on it.
Oh, it's so good, man.
You got to go to Ribera because of the legend.
Oh yeah, you go to Ribera because they got
whatever.
Yeah, they got the Road Warriors out front and stuff.
Sit on this tree stump.
Yeah, right? They ain't giving jackets out no more, but
they're very particular.
Yeah, they are. But their steak does not compare to.
It's different.
Mr. Danger.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing, man.
He does, man.
Yeah.
And he's back there cooking it.
Yeah.
Who would have thought, right?
I mean, and he was like a karate guy, like even way before pro wrestling. It's crazy to see.
I remember during that Fire Death match.
Yeah.
John was like on a post, like tied, and they drove a car and they were gonna hit him, and John got out of it, and John stopped the car.
That's scary, man.
With his hands going, and then I came with a big fucking bat or something like that, and I broke the window out, and I ripped him out of the fucking car. Yeah, it was cool, man. But
dude, BJW used to have some. They had like the house death match. They had like the island stuff. They had some really interesting concepts.
That was in Japan.
Yeah,
they always drew good in Japan.
Yeah.
I mean, excuse me, I was in Tokyo. Yep. They always drew good in Tokyo. And
Corkin always.
Yes, I remember John was on the ring truck. So you know how high the ring truck is. And he press slammed Jukasai. And I remember Jukasai's a young boy at the time. Yeah. And he just dropped him like this on one table, man. Dude, I seen Jukasai do a splash. Like, so, you know, the carts they have for the chairs? I seen him lay a guy on the cart for the chair and go up to the second balcony and do a splash. Yeah. And his shins got cut so bad that he couldn't sit for the bus ride home, dude. He stood the whole time. No complaining, dude.
No, man. No. Crazy monkey.
And he's still going hard. That's like a dream match of death match fans.
He was a young boy then, but could you tell that Sekimoto Daisuke Sekimoto was going to be a beast.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Stayed in great shape. I love this style.
Yeah.
You know, I like that style, that hard hitting, stuff like
The
that.
suplexes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Super
he's
nice
so
guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
And then we seen that Jun Kasai was a fucking good worker.
Yeah.
You know, like I remember John would always argue with Office because they'll always be putting the older talent over, and we got this. You guys have this young talent,
Yeah.
who's doing great. Awesome matches, willing to winger. If you remember Winger with the mask.
Yep.
And they would never like put them over. Always be the older guys, and like, and I'm like, and then John would fight for Jun Kasai.
Got to make some new stars, man. You gotta build some new stars
You got
eventually.
to.
Yeah.
You have to. It'll become stale.
What did you think first time you saw Ruckus?
Ruckus?
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I was stunned. So Ruckus was at, I forget what show he was at, but I remember this guy was running up walls, doing backflips at his weight.
Yeah.
I remember he was big, man, and he was just flipping everywhere, man, and then getting in the ring and doing all this crazy flipping shit at his weight. I was like, holy shit, this guy was great, man. And then I remember he got in shape, remember?
Yeah,
when he
of course.
cut all that weight. And, he was great, man. We bring Ruckus, GCW brings Ruckus in here and there. He's great, man.
There's just something special about him, man.
Yeah, same old guy, man.
Yeah.
Great guy, man. And
I knew what CZW was, but I didn't really start getting the tapes like every month until it was like, okay, the SATs are in, backseats are doing their thing, Ruckus is there, like and Reckless is there. All right, they got Minoru Fujita in there, and the shows were just so diverse. There was a whole lot going on.
Yeah, it was great, right?
And I was in IWA Mid South at the time. Right?
Yeah, I remember.
We were trying to do something summer of 2000 where,
you
me,
and
Punk
did
Cabana.
you guys did the hour-long match.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a classic.
Yeah, we kept pushing each other to go even longer.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was BJ Whitmer.
BJ Whitmer.
Then me, then Cabana, then Punk. Ace Steel came in, and
Ace.
Ian just he gave us time in our matches, let us go out there, and we were working twice a week. So
look at all that talent he had, man.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably fucked you guys over, right?
I mean, you know what kind of happens.
He likes to do that with the young talent. You don't know no better.
Yeah.
I hate that shit, man.
It's tricky, man. I was talking to somebody about this today. When you take a booking on a show, it's an exchange of value. I'm offering you my value, and in return, you're giving me value.
Yeah.
Your first couple of years in wrestling, you were brand new. You didn't have to pay for training, but you were working on shows. So that was the value I'm offering.
But there's an understanding of that.
Yes. And then as time goes on, then you have to be like, hey, could I get some gas money? Can I get this? Can I whatever?
Yeah.
And it's just such an awkward thing to bring up.
But,
there's no
when you make a deal saying, all right, so I'll give you $50 tonight, and then it's time for hit the pay window, and there's no $50. That's the shit I'm talking about, man. And I don't like that sleazeball shit.
Yeah.
He's getting it right now, man. Oh man,
I feel like
going through it.
Pro wrestling in general, it's it's not perfect, but it's better now about holding people accountable for.
Yes.
This guy.
Yes.
Didn't book my flight.
Yes.
This guy.
Social media. Now you could get it out there, and everybody can see, and especially the ones who want to put their hands on girls or bash them or do anything like that. I'm glad that you guys are fucking getting caught and getting your ass canceled and not be able to wrestle. Man, you should treat a woman the way they should be treated. As queens. That's what they are. They're beautiful. Yeah. And if you have a problem with a girl and she runs her mouth, just walk away.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do,
It
man.
ain't worth it, man.
No, man, it isn't. You know, I've been married with my wife for 22 years, man. You know, god damn, 22 years.
22, bro.
Yeah, I met her in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And I love her to death, man. You know, to this day.
Is that what we call ride or die?
Ride or die. Oh, yeah, man. I did 7 years in prison, man. She stayed there the whole time, man. You know, held out, man.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's a ride or die chick there, man.
Yeah. Talk to me about your first time meeting, working with, watching Jay and Mark Briscoe.
Oh, God. So, you know, they were young. So they were what, 16, 15?
Yeah, 15, 16, 17.
And just, I don't know, you could just tell they had something, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know. And they're just funny dudes, man. And you know, Pops is always coming. So Dad's awesome.
Yep.
You know, and they're great. And I remember we did the Cage of Death in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I remember that. And they had to, they were underage. So they had to wear a mask. They were the
Midnight Outlaws. Yeah, of course, bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got it.
So we wrestled them because we were in a feud with them.
Yeah.
And to this day, man, every time I see them, man, it's all love, man.
Yeah.
Them guys are great, man. They're great workers. They stay in shape, man. They love the business. You know, they've been doing it forever.
Mm-hmm.
I think Mark's got like 10 kids. You know,
it was funny. It's like girl, boy.
Yeah.
Just
It was
kind
like
of funny.
it was like we were at because they've been doing a lot of GCW with us, and the one time Mark brought his family, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool, man. Jay, you and Mark brought your family along." He's like, "Nah, that's just Mark's family." And I'm like, "God damn!" And then you know, I got to meet the whole family, man. You know, it's beautiful kids and everything like that.
When you hear about tough guys in wrestling, there's a thing that you'll hear like Rick Rude, for instance, right? One of his stories is he'd be a bouncer, right? At, a club, whatever. Somebody give him too much shit, and then he would open hand slap him and knock him out.
Yeah.
Right? You know who knocked me out with an open hand slap?
Who?
Papa Briscoe.
Did he really?
He did. We're doing this thing in Ring of Honor. It's like Father's Day, and me and Claudio are working with the Briscoes and talking shit on them.
What did he get you right here in the jaw?
Just fucking. I think what was it? I shoved him, and then he brought that bear paw, and it's supposed to be. This is what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be slap, elbow, but it was like slap. Okay. And I hang on, and then I hit him. But then I remember getting all the way to the other side of the ring, and I was like, did I hit him? I don't remember if I hit him. Bro, he just put me out.
He put you on.
Yeah, Papa Briscoe, man. We wrestled them at the Manhattan Center. It was me, Claudio, and this guy named Shane Hagedorn against the Briscoes and Papa Briscoe. It was glorious.
It was probably awesome.
It was glorious.
Yeah.
What a family. Two of my favorite opponents of all time.
Yes.
Yeah. Favorite locker room people.
Yes, they're awesome. The family is awesome. And every time they come, they bring an energy into the locker room, man. They're always fired up, man. So, shout out to Jay and Mark, man.
Yeah. Is it crazy to look back on that locker room you were in?
Yeah.
You're all kids. And just so many talented individuals.
Yeah.
And just special people. People that maybe didn't even stick with wrestling, but just had something special.
Yeah, man. They had a lot of them.
Yeah.
I thought Trent Acid I thought he was before his time, man. Mm-hmm. It's a shame the way he went, but before he got mixed up. We all get mixed up here and there and things. Yeah. Excuse me, in life, but I thought he was just phenomenal talent.
Yeah.
I look back, and it bugs me out to this day that I'm still going, man. That whole generation's done, man, and I'm still out here, loving the game, man, loving this shit, man. I love doing this stuff, bro. I couldn't imagine doing anything else.
Yeah.
It's just, man, I love doing this stuff. These podcasts, these things.
Yeah.
I only do certain podcasts to people that I like.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't
Your email box will fill up soon.
Yes,
Be
I
like,
do not do podcasts to
yeah.
anybody.
Yeah.
Just the fucking certain people I
Yep.
like, man.
Yeah.
And I like the convention, man. I like to meet the fans, and then I fucking love wrestling, man.
Yeah.
So.
What first time you met him? What'd you think of Sick Nick Mondo?
Nice guy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just super nice, man.
Yeah.
And then he was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember we had a match, and it was pouring rain out and lightning, and it was a no rope barbed wire match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I rolled him up, and he kicked. You do that roll up, and then he kicks you, and you go face first.
Yeah.
And I hit the barbed wire, and I fell. I was going
Yeah.
face first. And luckily,
Yeah.
I tucked my chin and did the roll. You know what I mean? Like got over in time.
Yeah.
I would have landed on my face.
Yeah.
John Sicknick Mondo. He came in and did a lot of. You know what he does now, right?
Yep. Yep.
He does a lot of videography. If I'm saying
Yeah, he
that
was
right.
doing some AEW stuff. He did
Yeah.
Moxley's video.
Yeah, he did a
Yeah.
lot of stuff for us at GCW too,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, he does good work. I remember for the Moxley thing, he made that whole video, and we went down. He rented out the old penitentiary in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
You could rent out that penitentiary if you ever known that.
Yeah.
And he rented out for 2 hours, and we did shots and stuff like that, And I went into a cell, and I was doing kind of like acting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like doing like that stuff, I was pacing around, making the facials, banging on the wall, clawing on the wall, and stuff like that, man. So.
And you take a look at him, and you what he dresses like, his sick, you're just like, that's a creative dude. There's something going on in there. I don't know what it is. And he's still, to this day, he's out there creating.
Yeah, and the bumps he took, man, was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, he came up with he put him on the shoulders and then crossed the bang and hit
assault driver.
Yeah, assault driver, yeah.
I was grabbing some dinner in Philly once. My friend Pineapple Andy and his wife were just grabbing food, and we're talking, and our waiter was like, just this dude. He's like, yeah, man, how do you guys know each other? And we're like, oh, we know each other through wrestling. And he's like, oh, okay. He's like, yeah, I went to college with a guy that wrestled. Mm-hmm. His name was Matt Burns. And I was like, oh. And he's like, yeah. He said he didn't want to wrestle under the name Matt Burns, so he asked me if he could use my name. And I said, is your name Nick Mondo? And he said, yes, it is. Wow. So I met the legit Nick Mondo, who was college buddies with Matt Burns, who would become Sick Nick Mondo.
That's
how crazy, right?
Dude.
We got a little selfie, and on Facebook I was like, yo, I met Nick Mondo.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
What a story.
Yeah.
Wow.
In Philly.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Oh, man. So, okay, we got to talk about Cage of Death 4. I got booked for CZW. I came to CZW earlier that year. I believe the show was called High Stakes. I had a singles match with Ruckus. It wasn't a great experience because driving to the show, we blew a tire in West Virginia, stuck on the side of the road for hours. So we get to the show as the show is going on. Yes. So it's like, so Ruckus is already out in a match with Derek Frazier. I think it was Derek Frazier, yeah. And then I got to wrestle Ruckus in our scheduled match, but we only had like 6-7 minutes. Yeah. It was like, damn, I came all the way out here, and it was just kind of like an opportunity, and I kind of missed it, right? So like, damn. And I kept in contact. I think it was Z-Bar who put me in touch, through Instant Messenger, put me in touch with Zandig, and they wanted a surprise to go against the Hate Club at Cage of Death. Yeah. So they came up with me and B-Boy. B-Boy had done Best of the Best with Super Dragon earlier that year. I had done this match with Ruckus. He's like, all right, let's put these two guys together and put you guys up against Hate Club. So at that time, I was like, okay, this is gonna be it. I'm gonna, because I had gotten over with the crowd at IWA Mid-South. The fans knew me, they supported me, but coming out to the East Coast is a completely different thing. Because it's like your dues don't cross over. Just because you're over with this crowd doesn't mean you're going to be over with this crowd, especially in Philly. So I remember putting a lot of pressure on myself, like, all right, let's kill it. We get together, it's you, Nate, it's me and B-Boy. We put this match together, and we were the heels, right? And it's like, okay. And then I had the mentality, like, I'm not going to be like a get my shit in, like, oh, I got to get this, I got to do this, or whatever. I'm like, I'll have the heat. I'll do some shit in the heat. Like, that's it, and whatever. So then I remember we get to the heat of the match. I hit like a cravat suplex. Okay, cool, whatever. I tag back out, and then Benny goes to the hot tag. And I was like, what? Like, I thought we were going to do some more shit, like whatever. So then the fucking hot tag comes in, and I come in, and I bump, and I da-da-da-da-da, whatever. I think I went through a table that, like, wasn't, I don't think it was called. I don't think it was called in the back.
Yeah, I gave it the boot scrapes.
Yeah, and then after the match, I got the boot scrapes. And I remember just being so disappointed, because I was like, man, Gage, there's like 1,000 people out there. Like, I didn't get the shit. Fuck,
I remember that.
You know how it is. So I remember coming back to you and Nate after the match, and I think Nate's like, we haven't talked about him yet. We will. He's just I don't know if aloof is the right word. Like, he's just like, oh, hey, cool, whatever. And I remember him being like, hey, you okay? Did you like it or whatever? And I was like, well, I mean, not really, man. Like, I didn't get to do any shit. I didn't get to, whatever. We got this crowd, whatever. And then he just looked at me and he's just like, I thought it was good, right? And just kind of walked off, and I was like, damn. And then I just felt like, man, I've been to CZW twice. It hasn't gone well twice. And then you get people in your ear, and it's like, well, you kind of got squashed, you kind of whatever. And I just felt bad about it, man. I just felt bad. Went back to IWA.
And then there was like fake heat between me and you. People try to start it up.
It was like,
because I did the boot scrapes after the match.
Yeah, and it wasn't like you didn't fuck me up.
Yeah.
But it was kind of like,
yeah.
Was that like a CZW fuck IWA thing? Like, was that so?
That was just no. I don't
obviously
think so.
not.
No.
But at the time, you don't know. I was 22
Yeah.
years old. I don't know what's going on. I just want to fucking have good ass matches. And
Yeah.
I just remember, some people being like, "Man, I was disappointing." That whatever. And I don't know. I think I had like a live journal.
I think it was a lack of experience of calling matches with me and Nate.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we were good at calling matches yet. Especially Nate, he would just do his clotheslines and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think that's what maybe it was. It could have been it definitely should have been a way better match,
Mm-hmm.
man. And I remember, like, people always thinking like me and you had heat because I did the boot scrapes, but
Yeah.
I was like, nah, man. I just did them to do them because we're the Hate Club, and we always do something crazy at the end. It was nothing intentional. I wasn't out there trying to, put you
also,
under or stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, no, you just to be Nick fucking Gage, you just get yourself amped to this extra area.
Yeah, man.
And like, there was never like I felt like I was getting shot on or beat up,
Yeah.
but it was just kind of like, what was it? It just happened so fucking quick
Yeah.
that I was confused about it. I didn't know what to do.
I wish it was.
And then
Yeah. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
so then no, because this wraps up nicely. I mean, we're here right now.
Yeah.
So I remember in IWA with like Ian and stuff, feeling like I disappointed IWA. Like, I was the representative of IWA and I didn't stand up for myself or whatever the fuck it was. So I remember feeling that way. It wasn't like a big shit talking point. It was just like, oh man, whatever. And then Ian, without telling us, was gone because we had weekly shows. It was one week and Ian wasn't there. I'm like, oh, fuck, where's Ian? Get back home, go on the CZW fans board. Oh, Ian Rotten did a run-in. I don't know if it was Tournament of Death or something.
Yeah, I
like,
remember that
and
shit.
he brought him and Corp and whatever.
Yeah.
And we were like, what the fuck? Like, he was, why didn't he tell us? Like,
Right.
fuck. And then you came in for King of the Death 2003, and then I think
Yeah.
Ian wanted to do some kind of a pull apart, right? So I haven't gone back and watched this. I don't really remember how.
I remember coming to IWA. I was fired up.
Yeah.
I wanted to send a message.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had dysfunction the first round.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fucked him up, man. Yeah, sorry, Dis,
Yeah.
man. I just seen Dis, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dis, man. He was always nice and cool to me.
Yeah.
And then I had the big guy second. I forget his name. But going back to the match, man. I learned over the years to like you said, I get wild up and all fired up and stuff. I figured how to control that, and be honest, when I went to prison, man, I just learned how to control my anger and all that stuff, man, because you can't go in there and be angry and everything. You'll make a mistake or something like that, man.
Yeah.
So I learned how to do that, and then I just applied it to wrestling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So I just wish we could have had a match now or something like that, where I understand wrestling better than I did before. Because you were probably a little bit better than I was with calling matches and putting matches together than I was then. You know what I'm saying to you?
Sure.
So I believe, a little bit of that happened, and then Nate just don't give a fuck. Nate just wants to fucking get in there, maybe give you a back chair shot, which was fucking so loud.
Yeah.
Do his thing and then get out of there, which, me, I was more, like calling the match and wanting to have an awesome match. So,
Yeah.
I think that's what a little bit of that.
Yeah.
But
It just I don't know. It's these things happen, and the way to fucking get to it is to communicate. Find some way to communicate. There's a couple conversations I had this weekend here at WrestleCade where it was like not even any heat. It's just kind of like, oh, last time we talked, something was a little funny. So it's like, instead of letting that grow and turn into something, I'm like, oh, hey, when I said this and you said this, like, and then it's funny. Face to face, it fucking all washes out, right?
Right.
It's crazy.
I try to stay out of that politicking thing, man. Everybody knows me, man. I don't do that politicking stuff, bro. If you have a problem with me, next time we see each other, we're going to have a conversation.
Yeah.
And then whatever leads up to that conversation. I will never, ever go online and bash someone online or anything like that. Next time I see you, that's when we're going to have the convo. And everybody knows that about me, man. And it gives me less stress,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All I want to do right now, Chris, man, in my later years right now is I want to wrestle and I want to enjoy myself and go out there and tear it up.
Yeah.
That's it, man. I just want to have fun, bro. And once I started doing that, man, wrestling's just gotten better for me, man.
Yeah.
I used to be in my head all the time, like freaking out and shit. Now I just let loose, man, and just have fun, man.
Yeah.
And it's worked out great for me, man. And I love it.
Whose idea was it to put you and Nate together?
Good question, man.
Was it
Me?
John? Was
Me?
it just you and Nate on your own?
Yeah, I think it was, I'm not sure, man. To be honest with you, I don't know how me and Nate got together.
Yeah.
But once we did, man, it was on. It was cool. It was on.
Who came up with Hate Club? The name.
Well, we stole the name Hate Club.
Yeah. Who'd you steal it from?
Big Mac Smack came up with the Hate Club.
Oh.
Remember
okay.
the white beater?
Yep.
And then
The H
Justice,
with the 8 ball.
Yeah, Justice
Yep, I got
Payne
you.
was part of the Hate
Okay,
Club.
I got you.
And then we beat them down, and we beat the shit out of them and stole their name.
That's right.
And we became the Hate Club.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a pretty cool way.
It's like in WCW when the new Harlem Heat came in. It took the old Harlem Heat's name. Absolutely nothing like that at all.
Yeah.
So how
Love
long
Harlem.
into teaming with Nate were you like, this is it? This is the fucking special thing we've been waiting for?
I don't know, crowd pops and shit
Yeah.
like that, you know. I'm trying to think, like, you know, we would have some good matches with the Briscoes.
Mm-hmm.
We wrestle, you know, and then we turned into like kind of like if you're gonna come in this company, like you're gonna have to face the Hate Club first, and this is your test, and then,
Yeah. I failed that test.
yeah. Yeah, like when Devin Moore and Drew Blood came in, it was like they used, you know, that's when all that heat was going on, and they
Yeah.
came in, and we whooped their ass, man. I remember we fucked them up,
Yeah.
and they didn't cry at all or nothing, man. So, but shout out to Devin Moore and Drew Blood, man. Get better, man, and keep fighting the fight, man. Never give up, man. Remember that. No matter how low you can get, man, you can always come back from anything in life, bro. But you gotta want to, man. I just wanted to say that to them too, because you know, I grew in the business with them, and you know, they're not my friends, but like everyday friends, but they're still my friends,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
through the wrestling.
You get a bond.
Yeah, and I went through a lot of stuff in my life, man, and I tried to help people, you know what I mean, through my way, through my story, you know.
Yeah. What did you think of Sanjay Dutt when he
I
first
love
popped into
Sanjay Dutt, man.
CZW?
Sanjay Dutt was the man.
Yeah.
He was awesome. Loved him.
Yeah.
Yeah, great guy, cool
Yep.
dude,
Yep.
and just another fucking high flyer, man.
Yeah,
Just awesome.
yeah,
He
yeah.
came through Ruckus.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I remember I had a match with him. We had like a 10-minute, and it was fast paced, man, and it was such a good match, dude.
Yeah.
And I love that match to this day, man. It's
Yeah.
one of my favorite.
Yeah. He's
So,
I don't know. When's the last time you talked to Sanjay?
Oh, I just when I did AEW
Yeah.
against Jericho,
Yeah.
he was my guy
Yep.
to do the promos and stuff
Yep.
like that. And
He,
then I seen him at the Ric Flair last match.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He was there with the family.
Yeah.
So I got to see his wife again.
Yeah. He's a guy that is just he's so talented in so many different avenues in wrestling. He's gonna have a job forever, man.
Yeah, I
Just
loved it that
good people.
I loved that he got a job
Yeah.
in WWE, and then he was like, you know what, I just can't do this no more,
Yeah.
man. This shit's just I don't like it.
Yeah.
And he got a job right in AEW,
Yeah.
and the next thing you know it, he's got a pencil in his ear, and he's fucking got this big dude standing next
Yeah.
to him,
Yeah.
right? And you're
Yep.
just so happy for him because you know
Yeah.
it's a friend
Yeah.
and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But it was good to see his wife because back in the day, my wife and his wife would sit with
Yep.
each other and watch the shows together.
Mhm.
So just to see his whole family, man, and
family,
his
man.
kids are like,
Yeah.
you know, fucking getting this big,
Yep.
man,
Yep.
running around. It's just, I don't know, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's a good guy, man.
CZW went over to Italy,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I heard. I don't know the story.
Okay.
Maybe you'll tell me one. Was there an issue with the guy in Italy not having the money for y'all?
Yes.
What
So
happened there?
what happened was he brought in Jean-Claude Van Damme, right? So we're all standing there, and John and him are talking, and he's like, I don't have enough money, and I could just see like Beater and Messiah and like Adam Flash. I just see these guys ready to attack
ready to
this
pounce,
guy, dude.
yeah.
Yeah, like you don't got our money, you're gonna get beat up. And then John just came with a slap right across the guy's face, and the guy went down one knee and he goes, "You better have my fucking money now." And the guy went and got he got the money, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sick.
John hit him with an open hand. Didn't even hit him with a fist, man.
One of those
Just,
Papa Briscoes.
ooh, yeah, the one you got hit with. And
Yeah.
John was a big guy, man. Just his power, he hit with that
Yeah.
slap. And we were like, whoa, man. But I was looking around like, man, these, some of these guys are going to hit this guy, man.
Yeah.
You can't come in here and tell them, man. We just went out there. Italy,
I mean, you're in another country. That shit is dangerous.
Yeah,
you don't know what's going to happen.
The shows kind of like we're like, but the food and Italy itself is beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Beautiful. We had Sabu on one of our tours.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that, and I remember that Sabu went out to the bar because the bar was sponsoring us, so we went to the bar, and Sabu carried Nate Hatred home.
Yeah.
From the bar. Usually it's the other way around.
Yeah,
Someone's carrying Sabu home, and he's got Nate on his big ass Nate on his shoulders. And I just thought that was funny because it's usually the other way around.
So the deal with BJW, CZW, that kind of wrapped up.
I believe my man Pondo snuck in there and made a deal. Made a shitty deal. And we were out of there, and he brought his guys in. But,
I benefited from that for a tour.
You slept in the dojo, didn't you?
I did. So it was like 2 nights in the dojo, a couple travel shows where you get a hotel. But I did 5 shows. It was a short tour.
So what we did is when we were there, we had a hotel room every night. Every night. And we had 100 hours a day spending money.
A little per diem.
On top of getting paid to wrestle, and then if you did a death match, you got another 150 for the death match. Which John did an awesome job of that. And then you wipe all that away, because Pondo wants to fucking, and we brought Pondo in, by the way. And he goes from that to fucking having the boys sleep in the fucking dojo and eat rice and stuff, and maybe some guys didn't mind that, but I was sleeping comfortable in a bed. I mean, small ass bed,
about as comfortable as you can.
Small ass rooms too, man. Right?
I'd have to watch my head every time I go into a room, go into the bathroom.
That's right. I watched a lot of Japanese baseball. Did
you ever get to go to a game?
I went to a game. Me and Necro Butcher. Because Necro loves baseball. And we went to a Giants game. And Tokyo City, know. And we went to Tokyo Dome, watched the Giants play, man. It was awesome, dude. And I love how they set the opposing opposing crowd on one end.
I still have videos on my phone. I went to a Fighters game. And just they're choreographed. And it's like, when your team's up to bat, you're cheering. When they're up to bat, they're cheering. You see them jumping up and down.
And how about the young girls who had the kegs on their back? Do you remember that?
Yes.
And they would come fill your beer up with the keg on the back with the little hose. And I'm like, wow. Gimmick. I was like, man, these girls are strong. How are they going up the steps with these many keg on their back?
You did find yourself going back to Japan. You went over for 0-1. You got to wrestle Otani and Masato Tanaka. How cool was that?
Awesome. Otani's my favorite wrestler of all time. Wow. Japanese style. It was great, man. It was me, John, and Homicide versus who was it? Otani. Who did you say it was? Otani.
Let's see. I got it.
Bad Boy Ito.
Oh, you okay? Okay.
And Otani.
You team with Homicide.
And Masato Tanaka.
Yep.
It was a 3-way, and I was like, I want Otani because he's my favorite. B-Boy wanted Tanaka, and then John was left with Bad Boy Ito. And that's when I realized that there's another level to this wrestling thing. Because they were so smooth in the ring and so good. that it made me realize, like, all right, there's a, you're here, and then these guys are up here, man.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta, like, start fucking, get your fucking game
It's
up.
like playing a pickup game at LA Fitness,
Yeah.
right? And then like a D1 guy comes in and you're like,
yeah.
damn, he is
I
just
wrestled him. I wrestled with Tani like 2 more times.
AIW.
No, I wrestled him at GCW.
GCW, okay.
For what was it, like WrestleMania weekend when it was like New York something. And
Yeah,
then,
GCW in Jersey.
Yes.
April 5th.
Yeah, I had like I had like 13 matches I think that weekend. And then I wrestled out Sada Tanaka too for AIW. It was awesome.
All
dude.
those years later, you get to revisit it.
Right, wrestling all them guys,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
And he was awesome. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's cool, man. He wants you to get all the heat and stuff and shit like that. And he's so good. He's a nice guy, dude. I was like, yes, I'm fucking wrestling Sada Tanaka. You know what I mean? Like, dope, right? And I'm driving out to AIW, because I'm trying to help them out a little bit. Ain't got that much money, and I don't mind a car ride,
Yeah.
So I ride out there, I'm just thinking, man, I got Tanaka, man, what am I going to do? And we had a great match, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. He loves to get hit in the head with that chair, man. It was cool, though.
Yeah. All right. So, couple things I want to talk about. Your famous catchphrase that turned into a T-shirt.
Yes.
And the original incarnation of the T-shirt had the incorrect form of "who's" on there, so it was "who's the man."
The man.
Who's in charge of that? Who did that? Who we putting the heat on?
So John had a girl who made the shirts.
Yeah.
So she fucked up. I actually have a picture of the shirt in my phone.
Yeah. I have one. I have one from working CZW.
I just didn't understand it.
Yeah. Hey, it's all good.
But John had a girl.
Yep.
Yeah. She made the tights for us too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my tights were. So I was a big Kawada fan, and
I don't think I knew that.
yeah,
Damn.
Kawada was one of my
So we
favorite.
know the boot scrapes are Otani.
Otani,
right?
And then Kawada was the tights,
Yeah.
so my tights kind of went down in a pointy.
Yep.
But I didn't want to be like, really stealing his thing, so I didn't want to color them in.
Yeah.
So I just pointed them down like that.
Kawada is my favorite Japanese wrestler.
Yeah, I love
Number
him.
one, man. Just this here is grit.
Yeah,
Oh.
when we work out, after we're done working out, we go into the sauna and we watch. We go in there for 15 minutes and we watch a match and we put on fucking Kawada man, versus Misawa, man. And it's just
he could just convey struggle like no one else could, man.
Yeah.
He'd get up like I'm good, and then oh shit, I'm lightheaded. I gotta.
his chest just was so fucking big, man.
Yep.
It's just like fucking and the classics that him and Misawa had, man, were just unbelievable. Rest in peace for Misawa too, man.
Another random thing I wanted to.
Shoot it.
I remember seeing some CZW promos after I left CZW, and I remember you were cutting a promo. I've tried to find it since I couldn't find it. I even asked Brett, and you're cutting a promo, and then all of a sudden you just go, "Fuck Hulk Hogan!" You turned into this whole thing. Tell me about this. Where did this come from?
I don't like Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
I never liked Hulk Hogan. But I heard stories of him backstabbing the boys.
Yeah.
The whole trying to set up a union, and he was the one making the money, so he would cut that off. And I'm a guy for the boys, and shit like that. And I just never liked the guy, man. You know. I'll tell you this though, I will give Hulk Hogan one due. As I got older, I appreciate his selling.
For a big guy.
Yes,
big guy, yeah.
He was a very good seller. But other than that, man, he had a couple of matches in Japan where he did put a couple fucking moves in there. Like, whoa, this guy can do a little
A
something.
little leg over, take him over into
I
the
mean,
arm
I get
bar.
it, man. If he was huge, and if there was no Hulk Hogan, maybe this business wouldn't be as big as it is.
Yeah.
I get that, but I just, I never met the guy. I just don't fucking like him, man.
Yeah.
I'm allowed to. Say,
Yeah, I love
so
it,
I'm
man.
allowed to say fuck Hulk Hogan, and it turned into like a thing, man.
Yeah.
It turned into like I was.
I
Like,
just
man.
loved the way, because the way pro wrestling is, it's like, oh shit, he's setting up a match with Hogan.
Yeah.
I want to see it. Now more than ever.
Yeah, I would love to wrestle.
I'm just going to throw a couple more names at you because
Okay.
some people need to, we need to have some discussion on it. One is J.C. Bailey.
J.C. Bailey, love J.C. Bailey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I miss
That's
him.
my buddy.
Yeah. Cole Radrick, Cole Ratty Daddy.
Yeah.
So when he does death matches, he wears the J.C. Bailey
Yeah,
pants as in honor and respect for him, man. I think he would flourish right now in the deathmatch scene.
Yeah. He was so creative.
Yeah, and the way the deathmatch scene is now, that the good ones. I'm not talking about the shitty ones. You are too. Shitty ass deathmatch wrestlers. I'm talking about the good ones that can wrestle and put together a good fucking match. Yeah. I think he would flourish today in the deathmatch scene.
Yeah.
Because before, when I was growing up, coming out, deathmatch was really looked bad upon. You know that.
Yeah, I feel you.
You know what I mean? And now it's kind of like I try to bring it back as like another art form of wrestling. Just so happens, they like weapons in the matches, and also with the internet where people can watch Japanese fucking deathmatch wrestling now and stuff like that, and see all that stuff. You know what I mean? So, and I just think that guy would be awesome, flourish, and I'll be honest with you, I think about him, and he went too soon, man.
Yeah.
Way too soon, and he was a legit friend of mine, man. I miss him, and once in a while, I'll just say a prayer for him, stuff like that, man. Yeah.
On Thanksgiving in 2000, I got to wrestle Sabu. My first time wrestling Sabu. Ian brought him in down from Blood Feast, Charlestown, and the referee for the match was 16-year-old J.C. Bailey.
Really?
Yeah. And then
that's crazy.
His dad ran a group in Kentucky called Bad to the Bone Wrestling, BBW.
I remember that.
And there was a little this between IWA and BBW. It's just dumb. And then so I started working in Evansville, and he showed up in Evansville with him and his buddy Simon Says, and they would get in the ring before shows. And I remember me and Mark Wolf coming back to Ian being like, "Hey, give this kid wants to wrestle, like." Let's give him some stuff, and he came in and started working with us, and I always liked that kid. Never had a bad word
Bailey,
to say about J.C. Bailey.
Pops and Ian always had heat.
Yeah.
He blames him for JC passing away.
Yeah.
But
it's hard to put that on someone,
Yeah, it is, man.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't be paying fucking wrestlers and pills, man.
No.
So
I'm not gonna argue with that.
I don't agree with that, man. If he wants to take his payday and go get himself some things, he's a grown man. He can do what he wants.
Yeah.
But if you're just gonna feed him, and he has a problem, man, I have an issue with that.
Yeah.
And I always had an issue with that, man. It leaves a bad taste in my mouth, man.
Yeah. Another person I want to talk about. You teamed with him in a 6-man at CZW. Sweet and Sour Larry Sweeney.
Oh, Larry Sweeney.
Yeah.
Another good guy, man.
Yeah.
One of my favorite Canadians, man.
Yeah.
Remember the whole Canadian rush came
So
down.
he's a Chikara guy. He came from me and Quack.
Yes.
Yeah, but the IWS guys, obviously Sexy Eddie, Beef.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Steve,
when they
Generico.
came down, they stayed at me and my brother's house.
Yeah.
Yeah. They all stayed there, man.
Yeah.
So it was cool.
Yeah.
I thought, man, I don't know, man. He had a great gimmick.
Special.
Yeah, and can wrestle. and we lost him too soon too, man.
Yeah.
He was just, I think, hitting his stride. You know, and that's why I always preach and I always tell people, man, if you're down and out or anything like that, man, reach out to somebody. They won't look down on you, man.
Yeah.
And you never know. It could be a family member, could be a friend, or it could be a stranger, man. But just talk to somebody if you're feeling a little down or you're feeling a little out, man. And remember this, man. You can always be yourself, man. And when you always be yourself, you're always going to wake up out of that bed, look in that mirror, and be proud of yourself and more happy about yourself in life. And surround yourself with the people that love you for who you are. Don't surround yourself with the fake people where they smile on your face and then 2 minutes later they're talking behind your back, man. You know what I mean? Because then they'll build you up. You know, that's what it's all about, man. You know, and I try to preach that, and that's what MDK is all about, man. And I get a lot of like cameos and stuff, man. Really dark, really deep stuff, man.
Yeah. People going through stuff.
Yeah, man, and me helping them out, seeing my journey, help them out. You know, that's why I like doing these conventions because they come up to me and like one guy came up to me and said I saved his life, man. And it's just like, damn, man, like, damn, really, man? And it just hits you there, man, you know, and it's just awesome, man. And, you know, and then doing the Vice thing just you know, got me out there even more eyes on me to where, like, oh, look at this guy, man. And I just kept it real on Vice, man, you know. And, you know, and then I just preach it, man, you know. It don't matter how low you get, man. You can always fight back and get better, man, in this world.
Yeah. And I think that's on us, too, to just always check in, man. Check in. Let people know you care. And I think we're much better about it now. Just letting people know how much you care for them and checking in. You never know, man. There've just been so many times you're like, hey, man, just wanted to say, hey, you doing okay? And they're like, actually, I'm not doing good. And just having that interaction could put someone on a different path.
I do that a lot, man. Especially with the GCW boys, man. I'll check in with them. Matt Justice sent me a text, man, just telling how much he loves me and that stuff, man. And it meant a lot to me, man. I was like, oh, man, this is cool as hell. And he sent it like, God, it had to be like, I was just waking up. So
spooky hours, 5 a.m.
Yeah. I was, yep. I was just getting up. I remember my wife was making the coffee, and he just sent the random text, and she's like, "Who's texting you at this early?" And I'm like, "Fuck it, it's Matt Justice, man. He's just telling me how much he loves me and how much that that I helped the locker room and everything like that." And that's what I try to do, man.
So do us a favor. You're watching this right now. Whether you're watching it 6 months down the road, years down the road, pick someone in your phone you haven't talked to in a little while. Send them a text and say, hey, just thinking about you. Let's do it.
That's it, man. Well, you know, check in on them, man. See how they're doing. It won't hurt.
Yeah.
Just to say hi, man.
Bro, it takes 15, 20 seconds.
You got a phone. You can even ask Siri. Hey, Siri, call so-and-so, and they'll call them. Or you can just press a button and talk in there, and then it'll send the text, voice text.
It's the future, man.
Yeah, man, it's awesome.
It's the future. And then message us on social media and let us know how it went. Do that for us.
Yeah, man. You know, always keep an eye out for your peoples or your friends or your family, because you will know if you're close to them. You will know if they're feeling a certain way or if they're down and out. Yeah. They will show the signs.
Yeah.
Trust me, man. I've been through it, man. And you know, and if it wasn't for a few of my friends, man, and my wife, man, you know, who knows if I'd be alive right now, man. Yeah. So, you know, that's all you got to do, man. Yeah. Just, you know, get out there and then talk to somebody. And thank God that a couple people talked to me and got me straight. And then, You know, believe it or not, I met some people in prison that were good people.
Yeah.
And I talked to them, and they were great. I believe the wrestling gods put them in front of me because the two people I met were my best friends. One is 2'6". I always say his name. Sean. He taught me how to work out with weights.
Yep.
And then I went back to prison, and Juan worked out with body weight stuff like pull-ups and planks and all that. And for some reason, man, these two guys came in my life to get me fucking a physical condition to get out of fucking prison and go back and wrestle, man.
Yeah.
So I'll always think that. But they were good guys, and I could talk to them and stuff, man. So,
Yeah. To wrap up this, and we're not trying to get all sad or emotional or anything, but there's someone that meant a lot to me, and I know it was a big deal for him to get to work with you a couple times. I'd like you to talk to me a little bit about Marcus Crane.
Marcus Crane, man. Yeah, you're gonna make me cry a little bit, man. Yeah, man. I miss Marcus.
Yeah, me too, man. It's almost a year.
Yeah. It's just that one hit hard, man. That one at Danny Havoc, man, really hit me hard.
Yeah.
You know, I know people pass away, and Marcus was doing really good at the time, man. You know, he was sober. He was starting to live life. You know,
He was trying.
yeah, he was doing.
He got a second chance after that whole thing with his
brain and everything.
Yeah.
And then he passed away, man, and I just couldn't believe it. You know, it's just he was a good guy, man. Great vibes. Always smiling. Always, nigga, I love you, you know, and stuff like that, man.
Yeah.
You know, tough in the ring, man.
God.
Yeah, man. I remember we were in Chicago for the NGI, and there's like, we were in this one building, and there was this roof off this thing, man. And I was laying on the door, and he came off the roof, man, and splashed me like Jun Kasai style.
Yeah.
You know, like Crazy Monkey. And I remember that shit hurt, man. I was like, fuck, and I died, and I was like this, you know?
Bro, you died.
Yeah, I did die. Yeah, I died in a match, man. 2 arteries. Thank God the major artery didn't get punctured. It got a little tapped on, but didn't get sliced. If I would have sliced me, we wouldn't be conversating.
We wouldn't be having this.
I'd be out there wrestling Larry Sabisco or somebody. Love Larry Sabisco.
He's not even dead yet.
Oh shit.
You know, one of them. Here's a funny one. There's a guy at the Performance Center down in NXT, right? One of the wrestlers, and sweet guy. He was an athlete. He wasn't a pro wrestler before he got there. And Larry Zabisco was in the PC that day because he's friends with Terry Taylor.
Okay.
So Terry's got his class, and Larry's just over there, kind of socializing with him, whatever. And then the guy asked. One of our guys was like, "Hey, I bet you don't know who that is, you know, because he'd been there a bunch of times. You should know, right?" He looks over, he goes, "Man, hell yeah, I know who Larry Briscoe is."
Larry Briscoe.
He created the third Briscoe brother.
Oh my God.
So anytime I hear Larry Zabisco, I think Larry Briscoe. Yeah.
I don't know why. You know what it is? I guess just I haven't like heard his name or anything out there. Yeah. So maybe I
no,
just
man,
thought
he's
he
in
was
Orlando,
passing.
got his hair plugs.
Well, I apologize to you, Larry Sabisco. I'm sorry for having you be in my dream match when I'm dead.
Yeah.
You know, but
hey, one day, bro, it can still happen.
Yes.
It can still
happen.
Yes. Did you wrestle Jerry the King Lawler?
Yes, I
at
did.
A Jersey All Pro show. Tell me about this, man. That's wild.
Yeah, it was cool, man. The King was Lawler. He was cool. You know, he was down for anything, man. I gave him a chair shot. And everything, man. He was just fun, man. He was ready to go.
Good crowd.
Yeah, he was fun. You know, I don't like some of his shit he likes. You know, I'm not down with him. You know, dating like fucking 20-year-olds. Be honest with you, man. I don't like that shit, man. You know, he's a grown ass man, but you know, sometimes people like to date younger people because it makes them feel younger, you know.
Yeah.
So, but he's in some weirdo shit.
Yeah.
But other than that, the match went great.
Yeah, yeah.
I got to
You-
hit him with a chair too.
Yeah.
I crushed him too. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Gosh, what do we got here, man? Someone that just popped up, I think, on your radar out of nowhere, and that would just go on to change your life is a guy by the name of John Moxley.
Yeah.
What were your first impressions of Mox?
When he first came to CCW.
First came to CZW.
He's just when he came with Sammy Callahan. This guy's good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got it. You know, he's good. And then he started doing death matches, and I was like, wow, all right.
Yeah.
Because he was wrestling at 1st. He started doing death matches, and then me and him had like a few going.
Yeah.
Where we wrestled like 5 times, I think.
Yeah.
And then he went, you know, then he got fucking picked up by WWE. And then he got out, and he was like the same guy.
Yeah.
And it was cool, you know, and you know, to see him go through little struggles and stuff, like, you know, like a lot of us go through, and for him to pop out of that, and has a beautiful family. You know, his wife is so nice. I met his wife.
Yeah.
Beautiful daughter.
Yeah.
You know, and for him to pop up out of that, and what he's doing now at AEW is phenomenal.
Yeah.
You know, I just love it, man, and I just love that he just kept himself. He didn't change.
Yeah.
You know, some people go somewhere. You're the same person I met, and you never changed, man. You always been a down to earth guy, dude, Chris.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, and you've
Thank
been
you.
some places, man. You know, you've been some places, bro, where some people get a big head, like, you know what I mean, and. You know, you and like Mox, man. I never felt that way.
Yeah.
And then he wanted to wrestle me, man. You know, and then you know, I was kind of out of shape for that match, man. And had Mick Foley hold the belt up in the middle of the ring, like Mick Foley's my favorite of all time, dude.
Yeah.
And I was a little out of shape for that match, man. And I was a little down and out after that match.
Yeah.
So that's when I took time off, and then the second match we just had, I was in great shape, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in the gym hard, dude. I was like, dude, let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that big Cass came in.
Yep.
Gave him the choke slam through the thing, but he kicked out.
Yeah.
You know, but I got the win.
When you're experiencing these moments, especially like in the last 2 years, so you wrestle Moxley, you beat him,
Yeah.
you get the belt, you don't have to retire. Are you able to take yourself out of that moment and like see that whole journey of meeting Mox, seeing him come and go do his thing, come back, and then are you able to kind of take that all in at the same time, or are you just in the moment of
I'm
what you're
in
doing?
the moment kind of
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just just Mox, you know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
just in the moment guy, man. I get fired up, I'm ready for that moment, then I move on, you know?
Yeah.
You know what else I seen in New Orleans for WrestleMania weekend, and I haven't seen him forever, was Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
Dude, this is the truth too, man. Me and my people, a couple of friends of mine, we walked in this random bar, and who was in there was, all I hear was Nick fucking Gage. And I turn around and it's Joe, man.
Yeah.
He's in there with one of the Usos, and he was
Yeah.
in there with Mox's wife.
Yeah,
You know, 'cause
Renee, yeah.
Renee. And I was like, Joe, what the fuck, man? You know? So we all partied all night. We went down to another bar and shit, man. It was good to see Joe, man. Joe's a good guy, man. And it was good to see him, man. I don't get to see them guys too often.
Yeah. Gosh, what else? What else we got here? I think the first time I had seen you again, you were out This is like April 2015. Bro, you hit the scene hard. It's funny, we talked about early in your career where you're like, all right, I'm going to do my monthly CZW,
Yeah.
I'm going to do BJW in between, but I'm kind of, that's just your diet. You got out, bro. You fucking did JCW, which had turned into a new thing, Beyond,
Yeah.
ICW, IWA East Coast, CZW, AIW.
Yeah.
And then Beyond. That's when I was teaming with JT.
Yeah.
And then I remember seeing you and be like, damn. Fuck, you were fucking just another motivation.
So we came out and Lauderdale said we got get you on the road, and I didn't turn down one booking, man. And I just went out there and did my thing, man. And plus it's my job, man. I gotta make money somehow, right?
Yeah.
And I told him, man, just keep feeding me fucking bookings, man.
Yeah.
And I won't turn down one, man. And I didn't turn down one booking for that 2 years. I just kept.
Yeah.
And then AIW was great to me. They brought me in every month or every.
Give you interesting opponents.
Yup. Beyond.
Yeah.
I was on Beyond's. Remember they had that weekly show every Thursday. I forget what it was called.
Is this? Are you talking about Uncharted?
Uncharted.
Yep. There we go.
Yep. And then so I had them. And then I had GCW, and then I think that was the 3 pretty much promotions I had locked down, and then I would just hit random promotions.
Yeah.
But I try to keep like 3 consistent ones, you know what I mean? Then I did Revolver, I did, I did Chainsaw.
Mr. Chainsaw.
You know Mr. Chainsaw?
Yeah, I'm familiar. You don't
Michigan,
hear it,
right?
Yeah, you don't hear
Oh
Mr.
my
Chainsaw Pro
God.
Wrestling and forget it.
So we drove all the way in Michigan, man, and we're in the sticks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where are we wrestling at? And then this VFW popped up out of nowhere, right?
Yeah.
And usually I'm a good guy, man. Like, everywhere I go, it's fucking MDK or Nick fucking Gage, let's go.
Yeah.
This time I'm a heel, man. His friends and family are there, and they hate me. So I got to be a heel that night, man. It was fun. I was like, I'm beating your dad up, and I'm punching him. He's bleeding. I'm like, yeah, your dad's not going to make it home. He's going to the hospital. You know, I got to be a heel and stuff, which is awesome.
You are a rare person of our generation that has wrestled both the powers of pain and the faces of fear.
Yes.
Bro, what?
Right?
You wrestled Warlord and Barbarian. You
Yes.
wrestled Haku and Barbarian. Tell me about them.
Okay, so the first ones I wrestled were Haku and Barbarian, or Ming and Barbarian.
Yep.
They were awesome. Super nice guys.
Yeah.
So like when and my tag team partner was Jimmy Lloyd, the different boy. You know, that's my tag team partner, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So you never know with the older generation, man. You never know how they're feeling. You never know if they're just coming in for fucking a little money and getting out of here. Them guys were down for fucking whatever. The promoter fucking showed my fucking tape to them, man. And we had a banging match, dude. Yeah. I hit fucking Ming with 3 chair shots to the head. No, you know, you can't fucking hit him in the head. That was my own fault. Never hit a Simone in the head. That was my dumb fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. And then wrestling Warlord and Barbarian for, I think it was ICW. Warlord was a little beat down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, for all the years and stuff like that. But Barb is great, man.
Yeah.
So, but my match with Ming and Barbarian, or Haku and Barbarian, that was my favorite match.
Gosh.
Yeah, and it was great, man. You know, you're wrestling fucking dudes you fucking grew up with, man, and it's awesome, man. You know?
What makes Jimmy Lloyd stinky? I've heard you call him Stinky.
Oh, Stinky Lloyd, Jimmy Lloyd?
Yeah.
He don't like to get in the fucking shower.
Oh my God.
Yeah, get in the shower.
Bro, we gotta have an intervention here.
Yeah, listen. He needs to get in the shower and he needs to get in the gym.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, the gyms have showers.
Well, you know, Jimmy Lloyd is such a good wrestler and such a good talent. And people don't realize that because of the way he looks. but he is good, man, and I believe in him, and he just needs to get a look, man. He needs to, like, I never worked out in my life until I went to prison. And then once I went to prison and I got in shape and then I came out and wrestle, I got it. I understood it. Like, I could hit moves better. I was more confident in the ring. I was able to, like, maybe not come up with, like, a sequence that I maybe wouldn't do when I was out of shape. That I'm in shape that I'll fucking do now. You know what I mean?
Your body recovers.
Yes, all that shit, man.
Yeah.
And I just think that Jimmy Lloyd would be awesome if you just get in the gym. I'm not going to give up on you, Jimmy. If you ever watch this, I will never give up on you, man. And you know what he did? You know what he used to do?
What he used to do?
He used to pick me up at my house, take me to the gym, drop me off at the gym, right?
Go back home.
Go home, and then pick me back up at the gym and take me home.
Yeah.
Why don't you just come in the gym? What are you doing?
Yeah.
You know, and me and I work out with Jordan Oliver every Monday through Friday, unless we have bookings or whatever, and we're on them, man. You know, that's all he's missing, man.
Yeah.
Just you're not gonna be 24 anymore, man. Time moves, bro. You know, and you know your peak years are late 20s, early 30s. You know, some guys are going hard, going in their 40s and stuff.
Yeah.
But your peak years is late 20s, early 30s, where you feel strong and you feel fucking, and that's where he's at, and he needs to fucking get in there and get that fucking throw some fucking weights around, man. Tack them weights, and I think he would put it all together, man, because everything else he got is great. Yeah.
I'm gonna run through a couple more names because you've just had a lot of dream matches in the past couple years. How good of an opponent for you is Darby Allin?
Darby? Darby was great.
Yeah.
Darby was fun. Darby was down for anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Darby was cool.
Yeah. Cool to see his evolution.
Yeah, of course, man. I'm never a hater, man. I'm a congratulator, man.
Yeah.
I like to see people flourish, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was cool. And he's fearless, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you see the one thing he did when he did the suicide dive on the big guy and he hit him? That was awesome. That's one of my favorite spots.
Yeah, man.
He just bounced off that dude like it was nothing.
Like a bird hitting
fly,
a tree.
Right?
Bam.
So.
Timothy Thatcher.
Oh, great guy, man. Love that guy.
One of my favorite opponents.
Oh, man. He is a machine. I believe he got re-signed, didn't he, or something like that?
Yeah, I don't know. I know he was doing some stuff in Noah. I mean, he's a great coach, so
yeah,
it wouldn't surprise me. But
dude.
I mean, I'd love him to coach, but selfishly, I want to see him wrestle, man.
Yeah, me too.
That emotion, that.
I got to wrestle him too, man.
Yeah. Walter.
Yeah,
You had
Walter.
to work with Walter.
Yeah.
Was that a style battle?
Yeah, that was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little different.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I didn't like it as much as I should have. Put it on me, though. I should have called a couple different things, but it's all good, man.
Yeah. Penta.
Oh, Penta. Yeah.
That would have been New Orleans Mania weekend.
Yes. So, a little backtrack of New Orleans. The athletic commission is very strict there.
Yeah.
So you have to get blood work done. And I walked in there and I had a cough and I had walking pneumonia.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so I was like, dude, I got to go down there and still wrestle. So it kind of sucked wrestling Penta because I couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
Walking pneumonia. I had Keith Lee. I wrestled them all that weekend, man. I couldn't breathe, man. But Penta was cool.
Yeah.
Nice guy.
Yeah.
Every time I see him, man, he always says what's up and everything like that.
Yeah. Who else do we have here? Jonathan Gresham.
Oh, man, one of the best wrestlers out there, man.
Yeah.
Guy's awesome, man. Guy's awesome. It's a shame that whatever he went through. Yeah, I don't like that shit, man. But I wrestled that guy, man, and He's unbelievable. I got him. He's one of the best wrestlers technical wrestlers out there, man.
Just his technique, man.
It's so good,
Yeah.
man. And when I wrestled him, man, we had a great match. So I was just chilling at my house and showing my wife, and Lauderdale and Stinky Boy Jimmy Lloyd came over. And they were like, you want to wrestle Gresham because somebody got hurt or something. So I was like a last minute call.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nah, I'm kind of chilling with my girl, you know what I mean? And he's like, nah, man, you got to wrestle him, man. I was like, all right. So I just packed my gear and went to at Quackenbush's place.
Yeah.
And I wrestled Gresham there, man. And it turned out to be a fucking great match, dude.
Yep.
And I was like, yeah, man, I was kind of happy I wrestled him, you know?
It's good. It takes you out of your comfort zone, too,
Yeah.
because he's just so different. We talked about Sabre earlier.
Yes.
But it's just, you got to bring a
he's
little something
good,
different
man.
to the table.
He's good.
Yeah.
He's good.
Here's a funny one. Kikutaro.
Oh, Kikutaro. So Kikutaro is great.
Yeah.
So I didn't know. So I'm thinking going into the match, this is going to be easy. I think he's just going to joke around and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
Kikutaro doesn't do that. I mean, he calls matches,
Yeah.
man. And he's very good at calling a match.
Yeah.
And we went like 20 minutes, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. Great match, dude. I had a fun time with him, man.
I don't think people realize how difficult it is to have a good comedy match.
Yeah.
Because there's a difference between a good comedy match like a Kikutaro has or a Colt Cabana or whatever, or just trying to be funny when you wrestle. It's just not the same. And
I
Kiku
agree.
he has it down to a dude. It's like you sit in the back. He's like, we'll do this, we'll do this, we'll do this, and you're kind of like, okay, and then you do it and you hear it and you're like, boom, there's the punchline.
Right.
It's perfect, man.
Yeah.
He's like on another level with that kind
You
of stuff.
wrestle him before?
I have.
Yeah, he was so much fun, dude.
Yeah, great.
I came back fired up after that match, dude. Seriously, man. I was like, wow, that was awesome, man. Because I just did not expect it to him to be like that. And he had all these ideas, and he was like, Gage. And he's like calling them right away. I didn't even put my bags down yet. You know what I mean? So he was fired up to wrestle me, man. And I just didn't realize how good he was until I wrestled him. I was like, wow, this dude's really good.
Very good at teaching just basics too. He's very good at that.
Yeah, I agree.
You're one of the few people that has been in the ring with both Fire Ant and Orange Cassidy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fire Ant. Let's see. Fire Ant. I got him to use a chair. Fire Ant has never used a chair before. If you know Fire Ant's background,
Yeah.
he's never got hardcore before. And Orange Cassidy. He's great, man.
Yeah.
He's fun in the ring, bro.
Yeah.
I wrestled them all, man. All them people you're seeing on TV now, man. I wrestled them all in that 2-year spring.
Yeah.
It's good to see. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
And you want to hear a funny story about Jim Orange Cassidy? He lives in like Philadelphia area, right? And he seen Schlack walking down the street, and he was scared to say hi to Schlack.
Yeah.
Walking down the street. And I'm like, oh my God, dude, Schlack's like the nicest guy in the world. He's just got a bunch of tattoos.
Yeah.
Bust his chops so long for that one.
How funny. Chris Statlander.
Oh, crap. I love her. She's my girl, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're a tag team. And up and beyond. Yeah. Just the finger pointing.
Yeah.
She's doing good right now, man. She's turned up her intensity big time. But she was a little goofy at first, you know what I mean? And then she started coming with that intensity, man. Happy for her. She's a nice girl, man.
It's funny. Someone that you would think would be like the polar opposite of you, but I've seen you guys together a couple times. That's Danhausen.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, right.
I just like the rapport that you two have.
Yeah, I love
It's fun.
Danhausen, man.
It's fun.
He's a good guy, man.
Yeah.
I seen him when I checked in, and it was just good seeing him.
Yeah,
Man.
yeah. I did one of these with him,
And-
and just I don't know, man. I knew him when there was no face paint, and
Yeah.
he's just trying to grind his way up, and it's cool
Right.
to see because you never know what's going to be the thing for you. I'm just
You never
happy,
know.
good.
And
good-
then
good people.
and then the success he's getting right now with the TV time and all that, man.
Yeah.
It's so cool, man. I told him that, man. I was like, man, I'm proud of you, man. You know, it's hard to get spots on TV and stuff like that.
How fired up were you to go in there and throw down with Minoru Suzuki?
Oh my God.
Do you hear all these names that I'm telling you?
I
do you
know.
do you realize this?
Yeah,
Bro, this is
I don't
crazy.
realize it till you start spitting them all out,
Yeah,
man.
and that's like half of them. I'm not even covering
right.
them
Oh,
all.
I just loved it, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's Suzuki, man.
Yeah,
Let's go.
yeah,
Yeah, and he loves it too, man.
Yeah.
He likes to tangle and fucking go in. Just have ball, man. Have
Yeah.
fun, bro.
yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
This is unrelated to any of that. How did you choose your theme music?
My brother chose it for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He chose Soon the Bell Tolls.
yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Was there anything else that you used along the way?
Yeah,
Entrance
I
music-wise?
used DMX on his first album. What was it? Darkest Hot? What was it? Not the one where all the blood's on him, but the first
No, the one before. Yeah. It's dark and hell is hot.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
beginning, the opener.
Dude, that is so. It's got that intro, which kind of
Yes.
sucks, but it's such a good song.
Fires me up.
You ever play Def Jam Vendetta?
Yes.
Because that was like the intro
Yup.
song for that, and it wasn't until that game that I was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
man.
He
Oh,
never even got money off that Def Jam Vendetta, man. They did them guys dirty, man,
Man.
back in the day.
Yeah, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about that
I
song.
love DMX,
That's a
so
good one.
yeah, the first
We
one.
needed some of these talented folks out here. We need to get a Nick Gage video set to that intro song because it is just
Yeah.
what where my dogs at? Oh, that's a good one. So your brother came up with that for you. He came out to was it the I don't know anything? Yeah, I just what a funny one. What a funny one. So here's an interesting one. We talked a little bit about your brother earlier. He and I never like got into it, but I don't know what there was just the vibe was just a little bit off. You know, sometimes he'd be friendly, sometimes not. You know
Chris
how it
was
is.
always like that with people,
Yeah, it's
man.
just, but from talking with you, you could tell he's just kind of in his head a lot. And,
Yeah. He was like that with me.
Yeah.
You know?
There was a match we had. There were a couple things that happened in a row that like made me like want to get out of CZW. Right. I had worked. It was myself, Justice Payne, Eddie Kingston. Right, 3-way.
Three-way.
And it's like I'm gonna get eliminated, and then it's gonna be Kingston and Justice Payne.
Yeah.
Right. We shoot Kingston off the rope. He takes a backdrop, snaps his leg, breaks his ankle, and then he's trying to communicate to the ref like I can't do anything. Or I tell him, hey, just take your time. I didn't know what happened to him. I didn't know if it was his head. Didn't know what.
Yeah.
So I just had him to go over to the corner. So Chris and I were working for a little bit, and then Kingston goes to get up and goes to take a step, and it ain't good. So then he tells Chris yo, just beat me, get rid of me, tap me out, whatever. So Chris grabs his bad leg, and I've never seen someone, Nick, on a double leg, single leg takedown. Kingston taps on the way down. And it's like, oh man. So then, fortunately, I kind of knew what these guys were going to do. So I was able to kind of salvage it. But it was kind of a tough thing.
Chris was never a good on the fly guy.
Yeah.
And I like to be stiff a little bit.
Yeah.
Uncalled for stiffness.
And you know what? He was just a strong ass dude. So he went to, I'm putting heat on him, whatever. This is a singles match we had. And you know the little Tully Blanchard deal, you grab the guy's trunks, pull him, boom.
Yep.
But he grabbed me by my top and my bottom and pulled me so hard, I went through the ropes and took a flip bump to the floor, right?
That's crazy.
And I hit the ground. I hit it nice and flat, but I hit it so fucking hard. And I'm like, right, Wax is there, and Wax is laughing, and I like Wax. And I look at him and I go, fuck you. Because, you know, I'm like, you're laughing at me, like, this fucking sucks. Man.
Especially you got your wind knocked out of you.
So Justice Payne comes out of the ring, and I stop him, and I just give him a big fucking across the back. And he just goes, what did I do? I thought just a funny transpiration of how things happen.
What did I do? You threw me out of the ring.
Yeah, but you guys had a match. It was main eventing the show.
Yeah.
And I remember you guys in the ring before the show, and like, it just seemed strange because it's like, oh shit, like they're gonna do some stuff. Like, okay, cool. And I don't know if you were hyped about it or if he was hyped about it, and then it just
I definitely wasn't hyped about it.
Okay, then that's when something short-circuited.
I got hit in the head with Nate. He wrapped the chain around his hand.
Yeah.
And kept punching me in my head for real.
Yeah.
To where like I was fucked up. You know what I mean? Like my head was hurting as shit. So I was like, kind of forgetting the spots, you know. And then and then fucking Chris came out and he slapped me around and shit instead of trying to cost it. And then he dropped me on my shoulder, man, here, man. And my shoulder to this day is in bad shape, bro.
Yeah.
I can't look. I can only reach this high with it. I can reach high like this. So when I'm working out, it's bad, man.
Yeah.
It's like, I think it's a torn rotator cuff, man.
Yeah.
I just never got fixed. And, you know, it just, you know, I just never liked working them, man. You know.
You and I weren't close at that time. We were friendly. You were always cordial to me. We were fine. But I remember being so angry with that. And then, like, it's the main event. It's like you guys went 6 minutes. You got hurt. Like, fans are chanting refund and all this bullshit. And then that's when John's like, hey, Drake, I want you to go out there with Chris, right?
And then he fucking gave Drake the fucking awesome bomb without even telling him.
Yeah. So that is when I decided to leave CZW because it was just one too many things in a row.
Yeah. I'm sorry about that, man.
It happens. It happens. And I enjoyed what I did with CZW.
I was a big believer
I had
in
a lot
you,
of fun
man.
stuff.
Yeah.
I remember talking to Drake before that match, and he was really scared. He had his tennis shoes on. He had changed out of his gear, and it's like, yo, we're going to play your music. You got to fucking go. And I knew Drake when he was 15, so I felt a little responsibility to him. He was just my fan. He was a kid in Indianapolis, eventually got into the business, right? And I'm like, hey, man, it's going to be okay. You're going to be great. You're going to kill it. He goes out there, and your bro's just still kind of jacked up and hits him in the face with a bucket of tacks and then just dumps him out to the floor.
He dropped me right on my shoulder, man.
Yeah.
That shit fucking...
Yeah.
I don't know what happened there, but it fucked up. I remember calling him next day, man, and I lived... So he lived in the house, so we had like a big... so he lived in the house here.
Yep.
Then my aunt and uncle lived in the house here. Then I had a little house over here. We all had the property. And I remember calling him up and saying, come on over, man. Me and you got to fight. We're going to fight in the front yard, man. You can't be doing that to me like that, man. Yeah, I was hot, bro. Yeah. I mean, but, it's just little things like, just get the fucking match back on track, bro.
Yeah.
You don't have to drop me on my shoulder and almost on my neck, where I'm, I'm 2 inches to the neck area, man. Then I'll be in a wheelchair or something, bro.
We forget how dangerous this is, what we do.
Yeah.
And I mean, fucking all the ridiculous stuff you've put yourself through, but a back bump, bro, can fucking end it.
And I take pride in my working ability of never injuring anybody.
Yep.
I've never I mean, I cut some people up, but
Yeah.
never injured anybody or anything like that, man. And I take pride in that.
Yeah.
You know, try to be a good worker. You know what I mean? And for both of us, you know, it's like a dance, man. You know, you both got to dance together, man.
So we're just about to finish this up.
No.
I want to know. There's so many good, young, talented people out there, and maybe not even young people that are just kind of getting their shine. When I say that to you, who comes to mind of people on the scene, stateswide, internationally, that you
Oh,
see something special in, that you believe in?
no. Let's see. Uh, I'll go with my boy Jordan Oliver. I'll
Yeah,
go with Bandito. You know,
yeah,
I'll go
yeah,
with fucking Tony Deppen.
yeah.
You know, these are guys I see wrestle all the time. Let's see who else. Young talent, man. Boom. Alec Price.
Mm-hmm.
He's up in
Mm-hmm.
Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm.
I see some stuff in him. You know, that's one good thing about GCW, man. We bring in young talent, man,
Yeah.
and what we're doing is we're giving these guys so much ring time. It's so much time to be in front of a live audience
Yeah.
that they're getting all this learning
Yeah.
session. You know, back in the day, man, it'd be hard for us to get fucking booked on fucking every weekend on a show.
Yeah.
So that's what I love about GCW, man. And you know, we bring young talent in, and they fucking flourish and shit. Yeah, you put me on the spot here.
No, that's good, man. That's what this is for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure there's other guys
Yeah.
out there,
Yeah.
man. No, I like. I mean, I know he's been wrestling for a while now, but I really like what Joey Janela is doing right now, man. I love that. Like AEW got rid of him, and he didn't even care, and he got in great shape, and he's out there fucking wrestling everywhere. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? To show them that, like, listen, man, I don't care, man. I'll do me. You know?
Yeah. Uh, I'm not sure how familiar you are, but I would love to see you wrestle Max the Impaler. Are you
Maxie
familiar with Max the
Impaler.
Impaler?
It sounds familiar.
Yeah, we got to get
I'm
you
bad
some.
with names,
We
but
gotta get you some footage. How funny! And I got a text from Max the
yeah.
Impaler. Um, Max is the non-binary nightmare, and their look is just crazy. But just they've been going over for Tokyo Joshi Pro. This is Max, straight out of Mad Max, post-apocalyptic.
Yeah.
I think I think people might like to see you guys throw down.
Yeah, I'll throw down
Yeah.
with a girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I've done it a million times already.
yeah. Do you? I know you're a locker room leader. I know you rev everybody up. You pump
Yeah.
everybody. We were talking about Tracy Smothers earlier.
Yeah,
I
I
know
take
you
pride
like.
in
I know
that.
you like doing that. When do you see yourself being a coach? Can you when it comes to the youth? What kind of position do you see yourself in when it comes to that?
Ah, man. Yeah, I think so. We opened up a school for a little bit, GCW, and
Yeah.
it was me and Homicide.
Yeah.
And you know, I really like the working out part,
Mm-hmm.
because so I would put them guys through the ringer first, and we do workouts, and then send them in the ring and let Homicide do his coaching thing.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not the best with, like, I know the moves, but sometimes I forget the name of
Yeah.
the moves.
Yeah, man. There's a lot of them.
You know what I'm saying to you? Like, so I don't know. I would have to, like, if I give my 100% and study and take it serious, yeah, I think I could do it, man.
Yeah.
You know, I think I can do anything you put your mind to, and give it hard work, and put everything into it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
What I'd like to see in wrestling, and it's tough with wrestling because unless there's money in it, it's just not going to happen. It's not going to get done.
Yeah.
But I look at coaching kind of like how you have a football staff. you have a football coaching staff, right?
Okay.
You don't just have one guy, right? You got an offensive coordinator, you got a
Yeah.
defensive coordinator,
Yeah,
you got
linebacker
linebacker coach, you
Yeah.
got people working with your running backs,
You got
you got
everybody.
special teams, right?
Yeah.
So these are all coaches, but they all serve different things. So
Yeah.
I'd like to see a place that had a team of 6, 7, 8 guys, and everybody is the best at what they do,
Yeah.
and they provide you with just a buffet of like, what do you want to do? You want to work on promos? Get over there.
Yeah,
You want to work
great.
on mat wrestling? Right there. You want to clean up your footwork? Get in there with homicide. You want to, so,
Yeah.
and because it's too demanding, I think, for one person as a coach to teach you everything about
Yeah,
pro
I
wrestling.
agree.
It's too fucking hard. And I get asked all the
Isn't
time.
that what NXT does though?
It is, but I feel like I don't think they're position coaches. I think it's like beginner, intermediate
Okay.
experience.
Okay, so one guy's teaching the newbies,
Yeah.
another guy's teaching.
And I just
fucking-
think it's such a chaotic system.
Yeah.
They have some great people there, like Norman Smiley. I think the world of him. I love him. They got
Yeah,
Fit
I
Finley
heard nothing
there,
but
right?
good things about him.
But I feel like it's so chaotic that there's not always kind of one direction. So I like people ask me about coaching or running a school and whatever. Like, well, first of all, I'm not going to be the one to find a building and get insurance and pay the electric bill and what, you know what I mean? Like, that takes the passion out of it for me, right?
Yeah.
But I feel I could teach you to bump, to run the ropes, but I think there's other people that are better at those things. I feel that I'm best suited working with someone that's like almost a finished product, and then I can be like, "Ooh, how about this?
Yes.
You think about this." Da 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 da. So it's kind of like, like a college education. You go to different professors or different
Yeah,
levels.
I get what you're saying.
But I feel like we, as elder statesmen of the wrestling community, especially independent, like we kind of just have to, work together and be like, hey, I got this guy, like work on this guy with his intensity, or this girl's got really good this, that, and the other, like let's get her some promos.
I'm a big
let's
believer
whatever.
in always keeping it 100% and keeping it real.
Yeah.
Because you can't help a person out by saying, oh man, great match, or you did this great, and then you
Yeah.
go over there and like, man, that shit was the shits. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just can't help them out. So I always tell people, and I tell them to tell me,
Yeah.
if you see me in the ring, you see me fucking up or doing something bad, please be honest with me.
Yeah.
I know, I have a name, and I know I'm like, a little, but you're not gonna help me out, man.
Yeah.
And then same way with me, if I watch a match or whatever, and I critique it, man, I'll just give you straight up the truth,
Yeah.
And that's how you help people out,
You
man.
got to.
You
man.
can't fucking lie to them, man.
Yeah.
Especially in this business, man. They'll get hurt in that ring quick, man.
Or you just are getting used to getting put over all the time. So then
Yeah.
the second there's a little bit of resistance, it's not fun anymore, and then
Yeah.
you just want to quit. It's tough. It's tough. What else do you want to do, man? What else in pro wrestling, in life? What are you feeling?
Man, right now I'm just feeling I'm just zoned in on wrestling right now,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
I got that itch back.
Yeah.
When it came from me taking time off and seeing them young guys bust their fucking ass each and
Yeah.
every night, man.
Yeah.
Just enjoy life, man. I'm getting older, man. I just want to hang out with my wife, kick it, have fun, and wrestle and enjoy wrestling and shit like that, man. I like to keep my stuff simple.
Yeah.
I like a simple life. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Not too much stuff, man. Just simple.
Something to focus on.
Yeah, man, life's short, man, so I just want to enjoy life, instead of worrying about so much stuff when you're a plate, you know what I mean? So if I just keep my plate small,
Yeah.
I'm okay, man.
Yeah. Get that travel stuff figured out. Get you back to England.
Yeah, I would love that.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
Get
my
you there.
number one thing. Just go get the passport. Go get see if I can get the visa. If we get the
Yeah.
visa, probably UK would be a first
Yeah.
one to try it out on.
Yeah.
And then if it works, Japan.
Yeah.
So we'll find out.
Yeah, man. Hey, This is awesome, man.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate you so much.
Oh, no problem, man.
I'm excited for people to hear a little bit deeper.
Yeah, I just want to keep
Bro,
it.
how many more hours can we do this, right?
I get to sit here all night with you, man.
I'll let you get some sleep, though.
Thank you, man. I got George South tomorrow, and he's
You got George South.
yes, in a hardcore death match.
He's been going crazy. He's been going
Yeah.
crazy. He had one with Colby Carino, I think, last year.
Yeah, Colby's great too.
Yeah.
By the way,
God, that just
I like
he got
Colby.
something special, man.
Yeah, I just want to say, man, it was an honor, man. I always liked your work, bro, and you always been a cool dude to me, man. And I don't do too many of these things, but as soon as Mike told me it was you,
Yeah.
I said automatically yes.
Yeah.
It didn't
That means
even,
a lot, man.
It didn't even like think about it or anything like that.
Yeah.
Because I knew I had to sign some stuff for him, but he's like, "You want to do a for Chris?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
Like that quick, man. So.
Well, man, let's.
Thank you for having me, and I miss you being in the ring, but
I'll be back.
Yeah,
I'll be back.
I hope so, man.
Yeah.
Because this generation needs to see you fucking get in there and throw some fucking elbows and some fucking boots and get them grind down on the mat and shit like that, man.
Twist.
Yeah, bro, man, you're fucking. You're a good fucking ass wrestler, bro.
I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you too, bro.
Let's, this is in the memory of all the different people that we mentioned throughout this,
man.
from Tracy to Marcus Crane to Nate Hatred and Justice Payne, Max Smack. Just if you're not familiar with those names that we've said, throughout the shoot, look them up.
Yeah, man.
Look them up because they left an indelible mark on our lives and our careers.
I agree.
And it's just
Larry
important.
Sweeney.
Gosh.
Yes, man.
Yeah.
It's always the good ones, man. The good young man.
Yeah.
But
What do you got to say to your gang?
man, always keep it real, man. Man, be yourself. Surround yourself with people that love you for who you are, and find your passion in life. And when you find your passion, hard work and dedication, because it always pays off in anything you apply it to. I love my gang, man. If it wasn't for you guys out there chanting Nick fucking Gage or MDK, I wouldn't be able to do what I love, and that's professional wrestling, man. They already know that, and they know how much I love you.
Yeah.
And it's MDK all fucking day, man.
There we go. And as I like to end these, keep on rocking in the free world. Doot, doot-a-loot, doot.
Doot, doot. I'm wrong?
No, you good, man. Appreciate it. Thank you. Till next time.
Awesome.